bastard sermon, you motherfuckers.
Welcome to another episode of the Bastard Sermon. I'm one of your three hosts, Cody Hucker.
Patrick Seda.
And
Don't ruin this, just say your name.
Uke Lung.
God, every fucking week with this shit.
it's not every week.
I want to get right to these stories that our guest was just telling before we he's been in the room for 2 minutes, and I wanted to turn these mics on. Everybody give it up for Lloyd Johnson. Thanks for coming on. Thank you so much. Lloyd's my buddy. He shows up at every comedy show that I've ever been to, ever. He's had drinks at all the cool bars that I drink at.
I go to most comedy shows.
You only go to the cool bars.
Yeah, 100%. Chameleon, shit like that.
The places I don't get thrown out of. So.
Yeah, those are cool. Those are pretty cool.
So before we fucking turn these mics on, you're telling us a concept for a podcast, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And it's like, yeah, I got fucking some stories. Like, yeah, my dad drank himself to death. Fucking somebody killed himself. And then you're like, and my best friend killed his, tell that story just right from the jump,
Let's
from
get
where
to
you
the
were
murder.
going.
All right, so
Right off the top.
So the darkest time of your life.
actually, you're not wrong because it came in like just a 2 months of hell.
Fuck.
Oh, God.
So in 2 months, I found out I had a bone disease. That means I'll probably not see 60 years old.
Holy shit. What bone disease?
I have a advanced form of ankylosing spondyloarthritis, which is basically all of my joints are fusing together all the time. So
God
Sounds
damn.
painful.
Oh, God. Oh, you can hear it. He's moving his knuckles
hold on,
right now.
Mike.
Do it again. That's your joints?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
just that me breaking up the shit between my joints.
Are you in constant pain because of it?
Yeah, all day, every day.
Keep going.
Speak of sale, Jerry.
Hell yeah.
So the following weekend, I find out that my daughter and her mom are moving to Florida. My daughter, who lived with me most of her life, her mom was moving to Florida, and she decided to move with her.
Oh, no.
The following weekend, I find out that me and the woman I was married to at the time were getting divorced because she decided she wanted to have kids, and we'll tag back to that story because I got a vasectomy at a time that I thought it was hilarious, but she did not so much.
Oh, no.
She told me she might want to have kids, and I scheduled a vasectomy the next day.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
She got the prank, right?
I thought it was hilarious. She not quite so much.
Yeah, sick
It's
burn.
a prank, bro.
And then the following weekend, my best friend killed my other best friend and then himself.
So, what the fuck? How does that even begin? You were saying that...
So that begins. My friend Joe. You actually met him. I don't know that you would remember it, but
I was incoherently drunk. Yeah.
so were we. We're at a stand-up show at McLeavy's.
Yeah, it's my favorite time of the year, dude. Stand-up comes to town. It's literally the thing that I look forward to all year long. It's the only thing that brings me joy in this world is to go see fucking comedy, for
We'll
real.
suck his dick if it was out
I love
right now.
stand-up. I
Yeah, I
fucking
mean-
love. I don't care. Suck his little herpes dick. Who cares?
Yeah, whatever. Cold
But
source,
anyways,
bring me back.
So I met this dude, and you said that night before the mics came on, you hooked these people up.
Yeah. So my friend Julia, we were friends in high school and then kind of drifted apart, and then she got real into MMA, that's my shit. Like I
It's awesome.
could tell you the full roster of
It's badass.
fight organizations you don't even know exist. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I can tell you who the LFA title holders are right now. Like,
And I would say, who?
right.
What?
So like, it's just something I'm super into, and she got super into it. So she would drive all the way up to Lebanon from Finneytown to watch fights with me, and it became like every weekend. So she morphed very much into a really good friend of mine that I saw often, and Joe was my other best friend who, it was kind of on and off with him just because I lived so far away at the time. But I hooked those two up as a couple, like the year before, about 2 years before, I guess. And they were on and off. Then they were together for quite a while, and then they had a big blowout breakup. And then he kept contacting her and trying to make things right, I guess. I don't, but the final thing, he managed to convince her to let him come over and talk to her. Whatever happened. Wasn't there, don't know, but he ended up murdering her.
How was his, if you don't mind me asking, how did he kill her?
Knife to the neck.
Jesus criminy.
How many times? Just one good stab to the neck? Or
Due to the fact that not everyone's families are filled in on all of the details
Okay.
I am, Like, I had the sheriff, because he thought Joe was hiding out with me in the interim.
Oh shit.
One of the sheriffs told me I had to come up for questioning and threw down all the pictures in front of me, which was real cool of him.
Oh, and that's your best friend?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, did he think that you were a part of this whole thing? Is
he-
that why he was doing that, to get a reaction out of
So
you?
this is before they had found Joe.
Okay.
So Joe went and hid out in Mount Airy Woods for a couple of days, and there were people out there looking for him, but they also had a couple of people that were checking into everything else. Like, he had stopped by his brother's house, which is actually where he got the gun that he killed himself with, which, Andrew, if you ever hear this, I'm sorry, bro. But they also thought that for some reason that Joe had contacted me and was
You were
trying to
harboring a fugitive
yeah.
or some shit is what
So
they thought.
this sheriff was trying to big ball me, and he just came and literally threw down pictures, and I'm like,
Jesus.
hey, bro, I found out.
Like, that's how you found out. It's like, how about these pictures?
Well, no. Like, I
Or
had
he
found
told
out
you?
about it just like the day before, and the day after finding out that one of my best friends was murdered, very likely by one of my other best friends. He throws down all of the crime scene photos.
Oh, cops are just the best.
Like, it's
The
just
fucking best people.
yeah, whatever sheriffs are up at that Seven Hills station, just I hope you all have herpes.
Yeah, again, cancer,
Oh
and I hope
my
that your mom gets fucked to
God.
death. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Why would they show you pictures of your best friends? Ugh.
I think he was
Jesus.
just trying to unnerve me and like get me to say something. I'm like, I've tried to call him a million times. I've got nothing, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Fuck. How long ago was this? I don't know if you already said it. I'm sorry.
No, this is about 3 years ago.
3 years ago?
Yeah, I moved down to Northside about 3 years ago. It was right before that.
Jesus.
Dude, that shit is crazy. Well,
Yeah.
you're handling... you look like you're doing good.
Well, I had a
Right
good
now.
background in death and trauma before that
Yeah.
point. So
I was just gonna say, like, whether you're holding up well or not, like, I'm super sorry, and I feel super bad.
I should have shook your hand
you're good.
earlier.
I don't know why I thought this was more of a fun story than it was, because for whatever reason...
Like, hold on, like, what do you
I was like, what do I
mean, you
lead with
idiot?
this?
Like, let's get into the murder. This is gonna obviously end with a couple
mean,
chuckles. Like,
I was sarcastic when I
What?
said worst day ever. I was just being sarcastic.
Murder suicides are always good for a
dude.
yuck here and there.
this fucking guy could. I
Oh,
didn't know it was
man.
gonna get morbid when I told him to talk about murder.
No,
Nah.
well, I get it.
Yeah, I it sounds bad to say, but yeah, I think I was kind of groomed to deal with that situation because
Yeah.
I think I handled it better than
Most.
probably would have. But also, fuck it, if we're going dark, let's go dark. When I was
Yeah.
12, my brother shot himself
Right.
on our way to school.
Like,
And
you
I-
were there?
No. Like he walked a different way than we normally did that day, and then put a 38 shell to a 6-inch barrel.
Jesus
And
Christ.
right exit left. I was 12. He was 14.
Dude, why did he...
Like, what even... what? As a 14-year-old,
like-
you said you were 14?
No, I was 12.
You're 12. As like a 12-year-old, like, how do you even get approached for that? Like, they pull you out of class and just... The only, like, traumatic thing that happened to me when I was a kid is my house burnt down, and they pulled me out of class to tell me, and I was like, I'm like, in that 5th grade. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the
How do you
counselor.
process that?
The counselor came and got me out of class, and I'm making jokes the whole way to the office. I'm like, "Oh, what'd you guys catch me for? Did you put a new camera somewhere?" Like, I'm
And
like,
they're like, no.
I'm like, hey, like, let's make this. And then I get to the office, and my grandpa's in tears. Who
Oh, my God.
my grandpa worked at a mortuary when he was like 15.
Right.
He doesn't do tears.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit,
Something's really fucked
something's
right now.
real bad. And I thought my dad had died because he had a couple heart attacks and drank heavily. And then I went in and they were like, oh, Waylon shot himself. And I was like, fuck. Was not expecting that one.
Doesn't even feel real, probably.
No, it really didn't. And I remember so looking for a reason to be mad
Yeah.
because it was just an emotion I knew how to do. That my mom, who was never really religious, but I think she did the church thing for a while, just trying to be.
To clear the conscience.
Yeah, I mean, we grew up in Alabama. I think all the shit that happened to her, she just was trying to find a way to be right.
Right.
Yeah.
So once we moved up here, because I moved up here the summer before that happened. We moved from Alabama to Cincinnati, which my dad's from here. He actually graduated from the same high school I did.
Right.
So we moved in with his parents until we got an apartment, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, Waylon killed himself September 11th, 1995. So that day's real cool.
Damn, dude, that's fucking
Yeah,
intense.
the day was already shitty in 2001, and then that happened.
Well, this was 95.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I had a
Just makes the
6-year
day
prequel
worse.
for that.
Yeah, dude, I feel like you're gonna top
Like-
any stories of this of trauma that I have, because I always think like, yeah, surrounded by death constantly, but now you're telling me stories. It's like, we could go 1 for 1 with the suicides. Like the dad killed himself. One of my close friends fucking shot his sisters to death and is now in jail. Like, I don't know if just Ohio's a death row state, but I don't think it is. But
Well, no, at least my friend had the courtesy to kill himself afterwards.
Yeah,
so I didn't have
Matt
to worry
definitely
about him
should've-
rotting in jail.
yeah, Matt should have shot himself for sure. But
You said that he went a different way than you guys normally did. So, like, did you guys, like, walk together and he said, I'm going to go
Well,
do something? Or
Actually, me and my oldest brother left walking to school, and he was like, hold on, I gotta grab some shit. So he just kind of like didn't leave the house with us.
right,
And then he went down into a park that's on the way to school, and
Jesus,
yeah, he had stole my grandpa's gun out of his dresser, and
that's intense,
It's
man.
interesting. I recently had like a family death. Like my mom passed like a month and a half ago. It's fucking awful. But when you said that you just found reasons to be angry at other things, like I could relate with that, and I think that's kind of like I heard it, all the stuff you feel during like a crazy death like that. It feels so alien to you. You're like, no one's ever gonna understand this unless they've been through it. And these tidal waves of just pain that come through, like you can't see over it until it actually gets there. But anger was something I was noticing like immediately afterwards. And I was just mad at all the things that like I just thought of like 20 years ago, like someone said something shitty to my mom or something like that. And it seemed I was like, is this normal? And they're like, yeah, all these feelings, like it's totally normal. And it's super weird to hear this is normal
yeah,
to feel
so
during that. If that makes sense.
No, it
Yeah.
absolutely does. Within the past couple years, I was actually diagnosed as being on the spectrum. So I was putting in an advanced learning program when I was very young. So when we moved up here, I basically had no interaction with my teachers. I just got a packet every day. I filled that out and turned it in. So I think all of the points where someone would have been like, "Oh, this kid's probably on the spectrum," just no one had a reason or chance to interact with me that way.
Right.
Right.
So now looking back with that lens, I realized I just didn't get a lot of the smaller emotions. Like,
Well, if you're not around other people, you don't get that developmental growth socially.
right, but I
You
wouldn't
know?
have gotten it anyway because of
The situation.
how my brain works. Like, for the first easily dozen years of my life, I thought everyone was lying all of the time. So, like, if someone acted mildly embarrassed about something, I've never felt it. So to me, it was just them pretending to do a thing, the same way we pretend Santa Claus is real, or that God matters, or that,
Right.
like, to me, it was just like, why the fuck is everyone lying all the goddamn time?
yeah.
And I think it actually, for a chunk of my life, I think I lied way more than because I thought that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
I
Because
just
you're
didn't-
trying to pretend to be some, like, it's like the quality of sociopathy where you don't feel certain human emotions. So like but you recognize that you're different and you want to blend in with everybody else. So you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna fake it till I make it, and
Exactly.
fucking
I mean,
that's how I'll make friends. I want to be a person, but I just don't feel like the way that all these other people feel. So I'm gonna pretend that I feel. I've done it before, but now I'm just like, I don't care. I'm not gonna pretend to be different to fit in. I don't give a fuck.
The diagnosis was such a crazy relief to me. Like, when I actually got like to read it and realize, like, oh, okay, this is why I was that way. I wasn't just being a dick to everyone for the past,
Yeah.
30 years.
There's a medical explanation for this
But
shit.
to tie that back to where it was, I think I didn't have any energy to spend on figuring out how to do it the way you're supposed to. So I went to the one thing I was comfortable with was anger.
Okay.
So we were driving to the hospital, and there was a preacher from whatever church my mom was going to at the time in the car.
Yeah.
And she goes, just tell me my baby's going to heaven. And he went, well, if he's accepted Jesus in his heart, then he will. But and I broke my fucking hand hitting the chair trying to punch this guy in the head. Like, my brother grabbed my arm, and I hit the the little stanchion between the headrest and the seat.
Yeah.
I broke like 3 of my fingers hitting the. Like I legit was trying to punch this dude in the head while we were in the car.
Yeah, who could blame you?
As you
you're gonna have a lot of
rightfully
fucking
should
anger
have.
He was
about
he was
that.
a piece of shit. By,
As you
by any measure.
rightfully should have, yeah.
And so yeah, I went anger, and I think I stuck with that for long enough that it. That's why I say, I jokingly said like I'm like a less put together Cody at times. The same kind of anger issues I hear in stories because I've listened to a handful of episodes here and there.
I've got rage issues, dude. Like I don't know what to do with it. Like I'm afraid I'm gonna kill somebody one day.
Learn to fight.
Yeah, I don't know dick about fighting, dude. I've been in a
Learn.
lot of
Learn to
fights,
fight when
but I
you kill
suck at it.
someone.
No. Here, I'll tell you for as much anger as I've carried through my whole life, the one thing that was the most humbling and the most satisfyingly settling was learning to fight. So I was in kickboxing and jiu-jitsu for years and years and years. Once you learn how to do it, you don't want to do it.
Right.
You lose all of those what do I have to prove moments in your head. You lose all of those, well, can I hear, or you know what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
And that's the single best tool I've had in my toolbox to control the rage.
But
Has it
what
kept you from fighting people and
Yes.
like hurting people?
Yes.
Also, that's what I need.
But what
Because
if-
I'm ready to fuck people up all the time just over stupid shit.
What if we?
Sorry, go
what
ahead.
if we're just giving him the tools he needs to become the danger that he
won't.
is
The
for-
I don't
danger
think so.
that he claims he is.
Here's the
Everybody
thing.
says what he's saying though. I've listened to dudes say it. I've listened to a
No,
bunch
I-
of people
no,
say
I-
like
I
if you listen to
totally get
Rogan
it.
talk to MMA people all the time, which I mean all of us have listened to Rogan's podcast a fuckload. You hear all of them say that shit. Like
Yeah.
how much it humbles them, how much it makes
To
them
get their
not
ass
aggressive.
kicked.
And if there is a physical situation, you're not like I have to be in this to prove myself. It's like no, fuck that. Like if
Like,
this
I know how
dude
to
must fight me, I'll
dismantle
just
him.
choke him and then it's over and then I'll walk away and
Also,
get the fuck out of there.
just the simple, you learn a level of compassion you didn't know you had because you realize how easy it is for someone to be hurt.
Yeah, that's what I was
And
going
you
to say.
feel being hurt. So it makes it real.
They do it back to you, too, there.
Well, so like my jiu-jitsu instructor was 145 pounds if he was wearing a soaking wet gi with rocks in his pockets.
And the people can't see you, but you're like what 6'3" and fucking 270.
6'5", 270.
Yeah, you're a big fucking dude.
And what he
like,
worked you like an anaconda.
He could tap me at will.
Yeah.
Just
with a smile on his face. and shit.
clownishly easy to tap me. And when you're two of a person that is attacking you and you have to reach up and go and tap out over and over and over again, that ego shit gets melted real quick.
Yeah, dude, I bet.
yeah.
Maybe I need this in my life because that would
That's what I'm
probably
saying.
fix me wanting to murder people.
You should
wanna
try
do
out
it
a class.
together?
Yeah, I took.
All right.
Remember Paul
We
Mason?
can't do it now. I don't
when
think.
He
Are
came
they
on,
still doing it?
Yeah.
Remember when Paul Mason came on the show and he teaches Wing Chun?
Yeah.
I went to a couple of his classes and I got my ass handed to me twice in that class and I was like, man, I suck, man.
Well, I mean, Wing
do like-
Chun's
But it
fairly
teaches you how
useless,
to.
but
Yeah,
Jujitsu
but
or
it teaches
something.
you. It taught me how to. I never knew how to punch correctly. I was like, wow, I could have broke
you
my
took Wing
hand
Chun,
or
you still
whatever.
don't.
I'm just. It was only a couple of classes.
just
I
fucking
don't even know what the fuck I'm not an expert on fighting, but I'll say that it taught you like how to control your breathing, how
Wing
to
Chun
sit and
relies a lot
reassess
on-
it.
Arm
Yeah.
punches.
Yeah.
And I'll let all three of you arm punch me at the same time while I get to step into my punches, and I'll be confident that I win.
I'm
this
never
fight.
punching
been
you. You're-
I've seen multiple videos of people talking about why you don't see Wing Chun in MMA.
Anything
It's
that
just-
relies on like that
Yeah.
The twist.
that quick snap where it's coming
Yeah.
from your shoulder. If you're not moving your body weight, you've wasted that energy. So if you watch a kickboxer, they step 6 inches into a jab. Bing, their body weight's moving with it. That's why you see people in MMA get sat down off a jab. You can watch whatever, other than like actual point karate where they've adapted moving with the strikes.
Yeah.
Most of your Eastern martial arts they just rely on the movements
Like
and the kata
forms?
style.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense.
Oh, guys, really
Whereas-
quickly, I'm sorry, this is so off topic, but I have to announce it or I'm going to have a panic attack. I took a tincture before this, and I was sure that it was going to fuck me
Oh,
up,
yeah,
and it has.
same.
And I have weird
Really?
anxiety now. So if I seem weird and fidgety and nervous, it's because I'm on drugs. Okay, continue. Sorry. I had to get it in
I'm
the
not
open.
feeling that from the tincture.
So I don't feel
Cody,
like
you're such a bitch.
Yeah, I'm a pussy. Whatever.
You're such a bitch.
We're all on tincture, and Cody's freaking out.
I'm not freaking out, but if I
there's
don't
cameras
say
in
it,
this room, otherwise I'd fix that problem.
Turn them off. Turn off the cameras.
yeah. Well, I mean,
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't. As long as you don't care if it's on the internet, I don't give a
I
shit.
mean, I definitely have to.
Okay,
'cause-
cool. I got you. But keep going. I'm sorry to interrupt you for that. If I didn't
you're
say it, I was like, everybody's gonna think that I'm a fucking weirdo.
You're good. And if you guys want an idea how my brain works,
Yeah.
I've mapped that you're uncomfortably keeping eye contact. He's comfortably keeping eye contact, and you're not even trying.
What do you mean not trying?
When I'm talking and looking at different people,
Yeah.
So the type of high functioning neuro-non-typical, it's literally the same as the guy that they made that show Lie to Me with Tim Roth about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like human lie detectors.
Yeah.
That's what my brain does. Mm-hmm. I can read facial expressions and micro expressions better than 90 some odd % of people. It just is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I do it all the time. So if you want an idea of what I'm processing, I'm watching you being engaged but having to fidget. You showing you're relaxed while being relaxed but talking, and I'm watch your jaw lift when you talk. I watch the little and Cody doesn't try. Cody's not, that's not a good or a bad. He's just not trying to engage us.
He's in his own little world.
I swear to God, I think I'm autistic. And my sister is a bit touched, I feel like, with something. We've all talked about it. Like she's not like, she's like you probably. She's on the spectrum. And my mom, me and her were talking about it. She was like, I think you are too, for real. Like 100% I think you are. And I was like, yeah, probably. Like I don't feel like a normal human. The way that other people talk about things, I'm like, huh?
Yeah, I'm
the fuck
just.
are you talking
Yeah,
about?
Mom,
Like, I
I'm
don't
just
get it.
special.
The only reason I say that is
Everyone
I feel like me just looking at you and addressing you normal when you're not doing anything to react made you feel uncomfortable enough that you had to address the tincture thing.
Yeah, dude. I was like, I don't know. We don't hang out a lot, so I was like, I don't want them to think I'm fucking weird. I'm just like high as shit.
I have to tell you right now that we're not even halfway into this podcast, and you are easily one of my favorite guests we've had. on the
Yeah,
show.
Lloyd's tight. I
Like-
told you guys.
Like all around, like how you view tragic events in your life, how you deal with it, and how you
Yeah.
like. I don't know.
I
Just
think
how
it's
you carry
awesome.
yourself. It's all awesome. It's
Like I
really
said, I mean,
cool.
you know, props to my brother. Give me an early start. You know?
Same with my dad. He shot himself when I was 13. You were 12. I got a
Dude, how
fucking
come
year
none of my
behind you.
family members couldn't kill themselves?
It's
What? I mean,
horrible,
you
but
want
it
the fun
teaches you
one?
things
Fuck.
about
Wow.
life real quick.
If you want the fun one, after Waylon, me and my dad became really, really close because me and
Yeah.
Waylon were really close up until that point, and then me and my
Right.
dad kind of bonded. And after Waylon died, my dad unabashedly was drinking himself to death. Like he was legit drinking.
How could you not?
He was drinking about a fifth and a half of imported Russian vodka a day.
Fuck.
What was he like to be around as that type of
He was
drunk?
fine.
Okay.
So,
was-
so he
he's
didn't
a-
like transform into like a
Like
person you
sleeping
didn't
a
want to be
lot.
around.
Never missed a day of work. Never like raised his hand to me other than the times that I can tell
really
you a
had
fun
it
story
coming?
about the one time I decided to like square up with him. I woke up 3 hours later in my room with Andy Jones and Jeremy Burns tapping me on my chest like, hey man, what's up? I had a giant knot on this side of my head from where he hit me, and this whole side of my face was bruised from where I hit the coffee table.
How big was your dad, dude?
Damn.
6'6", 410.
You picked a fight with that man?
Hey, I didn't say it was a good idea.
He's drinking like a gallon of vodka. He feels no pain. What could you do to him?
What can I do to him? Apparently nothing. Because he
fucked
hit
up
me
by
with he was right-handed. He hit me with a left hand I never saw.
Oh, God, dude.
Oh, he's quick, too.
dude.
It's a giant, very fast, fat.
That is the
Hillbilly.
scariest of all like opponents to face out in the
Well, I mean,
wild.
if you saw him, like, my hair's not quite there, but, you know, like, yeah, I just watched it. I'll break it down. My dad's hair was this long or longer most of my life. It was jet black. His beard
that's
was
awesome.
about 10 of mine.
Jesus.
And it wasn't like ZZ Top, like manicure. It was straight, like.
So why'd you pick a fight with
Just
this
a
man?
wild
So how
man's
many
beard.
Slayer songs did he write?
I think he was
Cody's
the
favorite.
inspiration for more of them than he wrote.
From how you're describing him, I'm picturing more of a David Allan Coe fan.
He actually knew David Allan Coe.
He knew fucking David Allan Coe. I called that so fast. I was on
So
the
here's the
money
fucked
with
up
that
part.
one.
is I didn't know if he knew who David Allan Coe was, but my buddy was bouncing at the Boulevard when David Allan Coe was playing there. And I went, hey, Pops. And this is after he stopped drinking because he was going through liver failure.
Yeah.
I'm
That's gotta
putting
be
all of
intense.
these things in quotation marks. And I was like, hey, I bet you'll dig this dude. And we walk in the door, and David Allan Coe is sitting at the back table. I don't know if you've ever been to the Boulevard up there on,
I have not.
it's up by Tri-County Mall, but
Wait,
Dylan-
is it a board game place?
no.
No, I'm thinking something else.
It's just a little bar stuck off to the side, and it's basically in between like a bunch of townhouses and shit. And then there's like a little strip mall. So at the back table there, it's kind of like set up like the Comet. If both rooms didn't have a wall.
makes
in
sense.
All
between.
the Comet rules.
Yeah, the
breakfast.
comments
Like if
type.
you took that wall out of the Comet, that's kind of how it's set up.
Okay.
Right.
I
So
know
it was
exactly what you mean
bar
then.
all the way to the performance area type
Yeah,
shit?
and
Gotcha.
so there's bar down the left side, performance area on the right side near the front, kitchen in the right side on the back.
Tight.
And there's the closed off table back there by the kitchen. So we walk in, and I mean we're in the door 3.5 seconds, and David Uncle goes, "Sup, Big Dave?" And I look at my dad like, "You know who he is?"
You know this motherfucker?
And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's my boy. That's my buddy."
Like,
I'm like, "Cool." So you didn't mention during the 5 times I said his name before, like this is what show we're going to. You want to just throw that one out there? He's like, "No, this is more fun."
yeah, dude. And by the way, Johnny Cash is
Fuck.
my cousin. Catch up, son.
Like, there's so many things. People who knew my dad, like, I'm a big personality. I get that. Like,
Exude it.
For sure.
near my dad, I was
Nothing. You're in his shadow the
I was
entire
Baby
time.
Toons. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I was Tiny Toons, Bugs Bunny versus real.
Doesn't even compare.
Like you could tell me any story about my dad, and I'd have to take a minute to whether or not like. If you're like, oh, he killed 7 hookers and buried them 18 miles west of Lake Tahoe, I'd be like, maybe.
Could be.
No. He said he never been to California. So no, that one's not right because it was never there.
Fuck.
Now, if you're like, oh, he sunk him to the bottom of Chattahoochee, I'd have to be like, fuck.
Yeah, you probably did that shit. For sure.
Yeah,
he did
we
it.
definitely lived right there. Yeah, all right. Like he was just
He was charismatic.
he was just that dude who was horrifying if he was upset, but like kids loved him.
Yeah.
Like I get it. I get the same thing at parties where like the adults will be like a little standoffish and kids are like, like they want to climb on the big jungle gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And kids apparently pick up something that we lose along the way because I'm in all of my hopes and how I want to be, I'm as harmless as a fucking teddy bear.
You're a very nice dude. I've never
don't-
seen you for all the stories you've told about fighting dudes at UDF and all this crazy shit. And for being a big, intimidating dude, you've been nothing but nice every single time I've met you.
That is my preferred interaction every
Yeah.
time. I don't know if any of you guys have any friends my size
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
A few.
that you go to bars with. How many times does just a little dude pick a fight with them?
Every time.
It's like this weird
Every fucking
little
time.
man syndrome thing. But usually, like the biggest guys I know and like played music with, all these big, scary, tatted guys, they're the nicest guys you'll ever like. They're the sweetest guys.
They have no reason to be dicks. They have nothing to prove. You're
And
fucking
we
6'6".
And we don't want to do it. We don't want to do that again. It's been every time we go somewhere.
Yeah.
Like people was like, "Oh, it must be nice to be 6.5 foot tall. Nobody fucks with you, do that." No,
Everyone
fucking
wants
does.
to
It's like
prove
a
that they
gym
can beat-
challenge. Everywhere I go, someone's got to challenge me.
Every dude with truck nuts in
you ever-
Cincinnati has tried to fight me.
Yo, did you ever listen to? I forget his name. You'll know him right away. But he's the bald dude, MMA fighter, Danish
Joe
guy.
Rogan?
No, he's a Danish guy. What the fuck is his name? He used to fight for. I want to say he fought in Pancrase. He's in his 50s.
Dana.
Boss Rutan. Did you ever hear his stories about going into bars? It would literally, when he was like the champion of, I don't remember what it was. I don't know if he was in the UFC
Pancrase.
or Pancrase. Yeah. So when he was the champion, he would go into bars over in Europe, and every single fucking time, as soon as one person would notice him, whole bars would fight him. He has these intense stories about literally having to fight entire bars like it's a fucking Jackie Chan movie. He's just throwing every plate, running, kicking dudes in the face, and just trying to get the fuck out of there. But it's just,
And
it's like, no, it's not awesome to be me. Like, I got to do this every time. I'm just trying to have 6 to 12 beers tonight and hang out and watch the game or whatever you're doing. And some dude wants to start shit with you. It's got to be infuriating, right?
I'm real weird about pictures, so
Sorry, I have
always
pictures
react.
for Instagram.
No, but
I
I'm
think I
not.
was picking my nose in the
Yeah,
middle.
by all means, go ahead. But
Okay.
if I see them, I'll probably react. Like,
How many?
No, good.
How many did you actually participate in? Where the dudes are trying to, and you didn't defuse
Well, I want
it?
to hear about the UDF thing.
Yeah, can you tell it? I don't know. Let's get into all.
What
of
the
it.
fuck happened at UDF? Why are you fighting 4 people at UDF?
this is 4 different incidents. I don't mean 4 people at one time.
Oh, okay.
That's what I
was-
thought. I thought you were just
Okay,
like
so-
in between pumps, you know,
You just-
6 and 7 and beating ass.
All right, so
You just sprinkled it in the conversation. Like,
and one of them, there were 3 people.
Okay.
And you beat all of our asses?
Well, it was one, and then I drug him outside and spiked him on the sidewalk, and then his
Spiked
2
him?
friends.
Pick him up and slam him on his face.
He
Spanked
was.
him?
I mean,
That's the only way I know how to fight. It's what I do whenever I get into a
But
fight.
just
I
so
pick
you know-
people up and I slam them on their face.
The more
And it's
brutal you
over.
get, the more he's just gonna laugh.
not to pick on him, but they were about the guy who started the whole thing was about his size.
At nothing.
Yeah.
Like a piece of paper in the wind.
right.
So
Throw him up in the air
I
like
would
pizza
pay
dough.
so much money to watch you spike someone as big as
Like
I
a football,
am.
dude.
So this is it. I work at 6 a.m. I work at the Cincinnati Zoo, and I go in at 6 a.m. every morning.
Yeah.
So this is at the UDF right up the street here on Winton and North
Up
Bend.
here?
Yeah.
You from around this area?
I grew up in Finneytown.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, what's up?
So wait, what happens? You're at UDF.
So it's like 5:30 in the morning. I'm making coffee, and I don't know if this came from me being a bouncer for a long time or just that kind of sense of. My dad always said, like, if you're the biggest dude in the room, you have the biggest responsibility in the room.
Ooh.
With great
Makes
tallness comes great responsibility.
Like, with great bulk comes
Yeah, with great bulk comes great...
dealing with angry tiny men.
Yeah. Remember that, Peter.
So this dude was like, as I walk in, he's already screaming at the girl who's behind the counter. And I'm like, all right, just let it be. Go make your fucking coffee, get your donut, whatever you're doing.
Screaming at 6 a.m.
Yeah, this is a dude who's clearly not been to bed.
Oh.
It's
Just got off
5:30.
a 3rd shift.
It's 5. Well, no, he just got off a 3rd rock. And he's screaming at this poor girl working behind the fucking counter who she's working the 5 a.m. shift at fucking UDF. She didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
And he's literally like full just tantrum screaming at this girl. And I'm ignoring. I'm making coffee, whatever. And then finally he starts picking up candy bars off the little rack by the thing and winging them at her.
Oh, what a cocksucker.
No.
At
For as
that
much
point,
as-
you had to almost kill him.
So I caught myself as we're going out the door. So I had picked this person up physically and went through the door, and we get outside, and I just,
Toss his
You like
ass.
he's a bag of trash?
Eat.
I mean, he's like 150 pounds.
Yeah.
Right. So he went soaring, of course.
Well, no, he just
flew.
kind of turned upside down and then
Showed him the
landed.
world.
I love it.
And the UDF girl's taking her panties off to give them to you.
Oh,
No,
Lloyd.
she was still not really a fan of me either.
Yeah, you did just spike a dude in the parking
Yeah,
lot.
she's like, there's got to be paperwork with this. Like, no one's happy about what's happening.
Yeah.
Me least of all. I've got to be at work in like 15 minutes.
And
You
you're
had that
already
great responsibility. There's no fun in that.
and you're already on camera throwing a dude face first into
Yeah.
a parking lot.
And then his 2 friends run up, and one of them like puts his hands up and starts doing the.
You could tell he doesn't know how to
That's
fight
the,
pose.
he's starting his own of like engines. Like I need to work myself
Like,
up to this
he's
fight
starting to
because I'm
close train.
not ready.
You see his elbows going higher with each revolution of his
He's ready to
arms,
strike.
to where he's like, "How do I reach this fucking tree beard that I'm about to?" So he
Take
takes
a fight for his friend's honor real quick.
He takes a swing and misses. And I don't know why to this day that I did this, but I hooked my finger inside of his mouth and yanked him towards me.
Fish hooked him.
And then I elbowed him. And then the other dude just ran back to the car.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm done with that
You're
fight.
incredible.
Sounds like it should be in a movie.
And then I went back inside, made my coffee, paid for my coffee, and went to work.
Did
And
they say a single word to you?
She
that
didn't
whole-
say shit. She stared at me like
She didn't even tell you how much it was?
Oh my god.
she just, I mean, if I had walked out with everything I could have carried, she wouldn't have said a word.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
I
either
could've-
after seeing that.
I
You
could have
know?
filled my arms with everything I could carry.
Well,
She
you're
was just-
welcome.
like she was literally just staring at me like,
All right.
Are you gonna spike me next? Like.
It's like, not unless you pay me. But
This makes my almost at UDF an altercation at UDF story so fucking lame.
Yeah,
There was this homeless
before we get
dude.
into this, we always say, what do we say? Like I hate.
I listen to
Slayer
Slayer too, but I'm not a dick about it. It's because
Came
of
from
this story. Yeah, so this fucking homeless dude's up there looking for, he called it a gypsy taxi, and he smells like rotting flesh and like an infection. I was like, no, dude, we're not gonna fucking.
PCP.
Also, Luke size.
Yeah, and we had like 4 dudes with us, and we're all kind of hammered, looking to get ice cream and go back to Pat's house and do whatever. This is before the podcast when we used to do art nights, and we're working on that big painting right there, or whatever the fuck. We're at UDF
Good
getting
times.
shakes and shit, and
so all before you got laid.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm over there. I was like trying to get an energy drink or a beer or something. I don't remember what I was over there for. But he's like,
All
"Hey,
four of
bro,
us
can
were
I
in
get a
line.
gypsy taxi?" Yeah, they were all in line.
All
And-
4 of us were. You included. He approached all
No,
of us.
no,
but
no.
came
I
straight
already
to
had an
you.
interaction with him.
Okay.
That's why he came to me. So
Gotcha.
I'll get to that. So I was over by getting like a beer or something, and this dude, and they were in line, and then this dude comes up like, "Hey, get a gypsy taxi with you and your boys." I was like, gypsy taxi? Oh, no, dude, no. There's too many people, and we're not letting your smelly ass in the car. I didn't say that, but I'm thinking smelly ass in the car. And I was like, nah, dude, sorry, can't help you out. And he's like, not even for money? And I was like, no. And for sure he doesn't have money, so that's not happening. Nah, dude, we're up the street. We're just going back up
Like,
the
hey,
street.
you're holding a 52 can of
Yeah.
Budweiser.
No,
52
not only that,
I'm not
52
bringing your-
can of Budweiser. I don't think you're gonna pay me for this.
The
ride.
cashier's told us he's been bothering them for like hours.
Yeah, he's been in there
He's
the
been in
whole
there
time.
the
just
whole time for
fucking with them.
hours, just going around freaking people out.
Asking everybody for shit, and he's just some lame punk rock kid. Like, whatever. He's just a fucking dude in a spike jacket.
Like
Like,
Sid,
he's not...
if he
some-
kept going down the wrong path.
Like Cody,
You know-
if he keeps going down the wrong
Luke,
path.
Luke size.
Like Simon.
Yeah, that's Simon.
like Simon
Call
River.
back from last episode, right?
It's
What's up?
great.
There
Thanks
you
for
go,
listening. I
yeah.
appreciate
I killed
it.
that guy.
You should have.
No, that's what we asked everybody not to do, dude.
That was gonna be my thank you for you guys having me on.
Well,
I actually, his
we're
head's
not
in his
telling
bag.
you to do that.
I don't know. I videotaped the whole thing. I'm gonna turn it in eventually. But yeah, I murdered that guy.
I can't
Oh.
wait to see the
Sick,
footage.
dude. I would be so freaked out if you actually murdered
I
Simon.
abducted him and his mother, and I pulled all of the small bones out of her inner ear, and I implanted them into his bladder, so he had to piss him out of his dick hole and cut it up.
Damn, dude, that's sick.
That's such a funny joke.
tight,
I
dude.
love it.
And then I used her sharpened femur bone to stake him to a wall. What?
Allegedly.
I mean, no, I didn't do any of those things.
With your
It's
bare
fine.
hands,
That's
right? No
badass.
hammer.
I don't even know who that guy is. What are we talking about?
Yeah, Simon Hill.
Holy shit. Oh my god, we're gonna find out Simon's dead in a week. Like, I thought he was kidding.
This is your fault, Cody.
No, but so this dude
Fun
was like,
jokesies.
Yeah, he's basically like, can I give bed bugs to your whole car? No, no thanks. So I go walk back over, and I'm obviously with them, talking to all of them, and he walks up to a different one of us, and then I was like, hey, before you even ask him, I already told you no. You know that I'm with them. It's a no, bro.
You literally put your hand.
Like, I don't want to be in the
stopped
car
him.
with you. And then he he did that shit where he's trying to be threatening, so he walks as close as he can to me. So I fucking pushed him out of the way, and he's like, well, yeah, you gotta fucking hit me, man. I was like, you're not gonna do that shit where you walk all up on me and act like, fuck that, keep your distance. Like, you're not gonna, like, I'm not scared of you. I'll put my hands on you. And then fucking.
Then he
he's just-
said.
And then he's like, I've got a fucking spike jacket on too, because I'm a nerd too, and I've got a big Slayer patch on the back of it. And he was like, yeah, I listen to fucking Slayer too, but I'm not a dick about it. And he walks outside, and then fucking the
And the rest was
cashier,
history.
I was like, hey, sorry about starting. And she was like, no, fuck that guy. He was literally starting shit for like an hour in here, asking everybody for a ride. Everybody told him no, and he kept doing what he was doing to you. Thank you for doing that, basically.
We were
It's
all
like,
just
yeah,
sitting there
fuck that guy.
talking, and there was maybe like 6 inches between Cody and like the little ice cream stand that I'm talking about, the little island stand or whatever.
He's
hot
trying to
dogs
walk
and
in
shit.
between me and
He's trying
the
to walk
island.
in between it, and then Cody literally sticks his hand on his chest and like pushes him back, and we all turn around like, but
I don't
it didn't
know.
get negative.
But it's not
it
as
was great.
cool of a story as
No,
I
but
fought 3 dudes.
let's
and-
back this one up.
Yeah.
Every time I tell a story about a fight I won, I feel like the biggest douche in the fucking world.
Well,
Yeah.
I felt good about this one because
Because
it's not
you
a
beat
real
someone
fight.
up and you're really cool.
Yeah, like
See, I'm all about justice and comeuppance, and you served it.
right.
Both
but
of them.
But as a
Judge,
storyteller,
jury,
he's saying he feels like a
executioner.
dick.
I
like-
would say here's the reality of the situation. I took a guy that I weigh more than 2 of,
Yeah.
and I threw him through the air where he landed on his head and possibly could have
Killed
been
him.
really hurt.
That's
All right,
unfortunate.
So I
Sounds like a
believe
personal problem.
to gain something of equal value must be lost. That dude gave up. They gave that woman a whole lot of shit, and you gave him a whole lot of shit.
Right, but why? Why did I do that? Why do I
not?
need to get involved? I have a child.
You're right.
I don't need to go to jail.
With great bulk comes great responsibility.
Yeah, dude.
You're like
my
a
dad
real
said a lot
Marvel
of shit
hero.
that sounded real smart, but in life hasn't always panned out so great.
Well,
There's also a
it's
guy who drank himself to
responsibility.
death. So let's not
Quote him like
let's not
He's not
philosopher.
Uncle Ben. Like,
hey, he's more Hemingway, less Gandhi. Like,
Listen,
man,
Lloyd.
Oh shit, dude. Before we miss the opportunity to do this, we got a Bastard Sermon podcast group, and I told a bunch of people, said our boy
this is
Lloyd's
great.
coming on.
I
He
can't-
works at the zoo. I just gave everybody a little information on you. It's like
If
here's
you
a
said
couple
zoo,
things.
there's going to be 90 questions about
I
things.
have
All
some
they asked.
questions.
Things
Things
fucking
fucking.
asked.
It's going to be
with one?
everything fucking.
Yeah, I'm sorry, and I have to add, like they all wrote it out, so I'm gonna. You can shit on everybody on here. I don't give a
Oh,
fuck.
I plan to.
What you do. Said our boy Lloyd's on the show. He works at the zoo, does a podcast called Fuck You, We Like the Bengals. Go download that shit. They talk about the Bengals. They enjoy them. They fucking watch it and they talk about it. It's fun. And he's a mixed martial artist. What questions you got for him? The very first question are Harambe questions off limits.
Are they?
No, but they're just so fucking played out. You goddamn.
Do you like
nerd.
Harambe?
Yeah, that was my homie.
That was your homie.
Yeah, Lloyd's actually the guy that shot Harambe himself.
I'm not, but
Do you know that dude?
yeah.
Really?
Does he?
Yeah.
Does he
Fuck
have
him.
like?
What was the
Fuck him up.
internet fallback on this guy?
Oh shit!
Sorry, I just
No
had to
one
get
knows
this
who
in.
it is, and no one will ever say who it was. But it fucked him up. Like it wasn't
Like,
easy.
Finding out the whole world. Got
He didn't
involved.
do
the
it
fact
for
that-
fun.
No,
Well,
of course
no, but
not.
the fact that it turned into a whole thing that was just so goddamn tiresome.
yeah.
Like, I used to have to leave work and take my fucking zoo shirt off before I stopped at a gas station or a grocery store so I didn't have everyone saying some corny
shit.
ass fucking I'm like, okay,
Dicks
cool,
out.
you
I hate that.
cool, man. Like, yeah, I've not heard any of these before. Oh,
I love your apathy for this subject because as soon as I saw these questions, I was like, "Ugh, okay,
Dude, Harambe helped ruin the last election.
really?
Yeah, they wrote.
All the
people wrote his
motherfuckers that
name
could have
down.
voted were like Harambe. Huh?
Like, I don't
Dude,
wanna-
that's 4
Like,
years ago.
like,
What?
hold on.
You gave it to him.
I don't want to punch a ginger today, but
I'm sorry.
I don't think Luke wants to get punched by you either.
I'm just
Nobody wants
joking.
to get punched by Luke.
It would be
not
like
Luke.
a big bang, just within 5 fists.
It'd be like with the story that he told about fighting his dad, where you just wake up, but you just never wake up. You're
Yeah,
dead.
exactly. I was
You
gonna
could
say
just-
I never
No,
wake up.
the whole Harambe thing, like, it was super unfortunate, super shitty, and I know the amount. Like, I understand most of the people that work at the zoo
Yeah.
have a degree, have spent a lot of their life to get to that spot.
Oh yeah.
Those are people who care. I know what they get paid because we're all in a union. I get paid the same as, like, I saw Grace Malloy was friends with, I think somebody. Like, that girl's brilliant. She should be a doctor somewhere. And she works with primates because she cares.
Right.
And there's 100 of those I could name right now. Like, these are people who give such a shit about that they're willing to forgo, like, careers that can make them 10 times the money they're making to do it.
It's a passion. It's a true passion.
Yeah, and when you see that just get raped by, like, dumb internet whatever, which, okay, there's some clever, and if it's good joke, I'll laugh at it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't care what it's about. You know, if you write a good joke, I'll laugh.
Because it's a good joke.
Yeah, there's a comedian named Josh Faust where one time I was roasting the shit out of another comic, and he was like, well, yeah, but I wouldn't say shit about this or this or this because it's off topic for you. I was like, no, my dad and my brother are both dead. Go ahead, swing for your fences.
Whatever you want.
Josh Faust is standing catty corner to me. He's like, it's because they both died from AIDS from fucking each other. I laughed my ass off. It was a fucking good joke.
Yeah.
So I don't care, but that became such a lame just because you knew the name, like
Yeah.
hitting the name was the punchline, that I just got exhausted with it really quickly because everyone I knew sent me every fucking meme every day.
Oh, you work at the zoo. You're gonna love this.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Do you get it? Do you get what happened?
yeah,
Do you get it?
my whole fucking frat party, the whole frat party was a Dicks Out for Harambe party, bro. Here's pictures.
I'm screaming. I'm screaming.
And I'm like, and the whole time I'm like, yeah, cool. Like,
Sick, dude.
Like, it was just exhausting to me. So Are Harambe questions off limits? No, but
They're stupid.
Most of them suck
come
dick.
with something.
And it ruins something that you
Well,
love, it sounds like. So
We're sorry in advance because there's probably a lot of.
we'll just skip them. You know how it feels. We don't have to.
No. I mean,
do you want mine
Again,
answering them?
if there was a real question, sure, whatever.
They're not real questions. They're
I
real
know.
stupid.
They're all fucking zoo questions, and I tried to get somebody to like say anything else, but it's always
It
you'll
just
see.
went right back to it.
What's
No,
the max? This one
part
made
of the
me laugh
problem,
because it's stupid
Lloyd.
as fuck.
It's okay.
I'm part of the problem. And I'm sorry.
Again, I don't hold any ill will towards people for it. It's just
I'm just sitting across from you, and you'll kill me.
I won't. I don't
No,
want
we
to
won't.
ever
You
hurt
said
another
kill me,
person
man.
as long as I live. If I never hit another
It was
person,
a joke.
I'm aware of
It's
that,
just
but
a
I
joke.
threatened to punch him, and it's been bothering me since I said it.
What? Oh, dude, I'm not sweating it.
You got
No,
shit
I
on.
am. I don't like-
Okay. I'm sorry.
He's a sweetheart.
It's my own internal little.
Yeah, but if you cross him, Luke, I swear to God, if you cross him,
Well, like I'll put it this way: like you guys see, I'm covered in tattoos.
Yeah, it's like marine
They're
biology
awesome.
tattoos and stuff like that. It's
This
really
is
cool.
all South American rainforest. This one's all mid Pacific Ocean.
there's snakes.
Yeah, there's a
Like-
eyelash viper.
That's
there's a-
super cool.
Awesome.
The original plan for this one was a picture of Hannibal coming over the mountains on the elephants, but that painting ends with a big puddle of blood at the bottom with a bunch of bodies.
Metal.
And the day I went to start it, I went, I don't need that on my arm adding to. I don't need that on my arm adding to.
Tattoos are impulsive, man.
No,
you go
he's-
there, think of one idea.
he's
Well, none of mine were impulsive, even a little bit.
Oh,
He's already
never
a
mind.
big, gigantic dude that everybody tries to pick fights with.
I
and
just
shit
didn't
like
want
that.
anything more intimidating.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I talked myself out of a tattoo I had planned since I was like 12 when I first saw the painting.
To try to look like a nicer, more friendly person.
Damn.
Because I was just like,
Literally,
literally.
how do you decide what you get last second? Like,
I didn't last
this is
second.
what
I
want
just-
for the rest
I
of my
just
He
life.
left.
decided not to get that.
Oh, okay.
And then
And then I
later
went
on
back
got
and
this.
I gave a amazing tattoo artist named Ryan Ignatius all the different stuff I wanted in this one, and just let her put it together.
Mm-hmm.
And then Carrie Crutcher, who's now at Doll Star Tattoo, I gave her all the pictures of the sea stuff I wanted, and that's how my sleeves came to be.
Yeah.
That
Oh, yeah.
blowfish looks awesome.
Yeah, Carrie's amazing. Doll Star Tattoo, Carrie Crutcher,
Shout out.
Hybrid Image Tattoo, Ryan and Ignatius. Especially if you want something done with like soft color, because like this isn't done. It's gonna be look like a painting kind of by the time it's done.
They got to build it up in layers, though, so it's going to
Yeah,
take some
A
time.
lot of.
Yeah.
So like it's very muted and soft, but that's intentional. It's part of how it's being done. Yeah, but yeah, get let's whatever.
This one made me laugh because it's so fucking stupid. What's the maximum amount of swans you could win in a fight against? It's
They
so
have
dumb.
hollow bones, and I don't. So
How many, though?
Until I'm exhausted, we'll say 1,500.
Sweet.
You could fight off 1,500,
They have hollow bones.
They're fucking birds.
but
I can
they can bite the shit out of you.
With what
Right, but they're-
teeth?
Don't
they-
they have like ridges in their
Yeah,
mouth
they do
or
have
some
little.
shit? It's like shred
good
you.
luck.
Don't
I would,
attack people.
I would take
Their
that
mouth
goo-
open's this wide, so unless they're going after my fingers, my toes, or my dick, they have
What
to
if
deal with.
what
Yeah,
if
I
like
was-
a group of like 30 of them hold down each arm and leg,
group
and
of-
then they start picking at your stomach?
All right, so let's
yeah,
let's
you know
go.
those
Most
pack
of them weigh
predator
about
swans?
most of them weigh about 2.6 pounds each.
Yeah, what if a bunch of
swan? They're
humanoid
gigantic.
predator swans?
You're saying they're
hold
all
you down?
feathers
Bones
and hollow bones, and he's a professional fighter. He's gonna fucking kill 8,000 of these.
1,500.
1,500's a lot,
That
but
seems
I'm saying that
unrealistic.
that's where I'm comfortable.
I would.
enough.
Look,
I
I'm
would,
not a scientist, but
We got a
that's
lot of these.
Someone please
let's
donate.
burn through these.
1,200, 1,500 swans. I would pay so much money to watch.
You
this.
want a fun story?
Yes, you
From
punched
the
the
zoo of a
swan.
swan. I backhanded a swan.
Sick.
Like, bitch.
So when I started at the zoo, I started there in maintenance doing electric work.
Right.
So I had all the credits I needed to graduate high school in 10th grade.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let me graduate because I wasn't in the Ohio curriculum for long enough.
Yeah. Stupid shit.
So I went to vocational school for the last 2 years because, like, it was take sign language 4 and calculus 3 and 6 study halls or go to vocational school.
Yeah.
And I was like, my parents are broke degenerates. I'll probably need some way to pay for college.
Yeah,
so
dude.
I went to vocational school.
You get some financial aid up in this bitch.
And, yeah, anyway, that's how I started the zoo, was as an electrician. But part of maintenance thing is getting the train running up and every morning. So we'd walk around and grease the track and make sure nothing's on the train track or whatever before it
This
starts
is
up.
magical.
And there's a certain type of year where the geese and swans and everything, they lay eggs, and usually the birdhouse people come out and take all the eggs or whatever, so they don't get, just
Crushed.
overwhelmed with whatever.
Yeah.
So they have breakfast.
I will not confirm or deny whether or not they're eating swan eggs, but they're good.
It sounds like a confirmation there, bud.
Well, is it legal to eat swan eggs? Like, is it cool?
I don't fucking know. I can tell you, ostrich eggs make a lot of omelets.
Dude, I've seen
Dude,
those. You
they're
can
like
definitely eat
$60.
those. They're fucking huge, dude. Those
They're
things, and you
fucking
gotta
free,
drill.
I'd try one.
You gotta drill through those fuckers too. How do you get yours open? They're you just karate
yeah, how do
chop
you get
that
yours
shit.
open?
Top
If you
comes
take
right
the
off.
little carving things from pumpkin kits,
That'll open it up.
yeah.
Oh shit!
There's that little spike you put at the top, and then you.
I wonder if it's good.
Hell yeah!
It's real good.
I really wanted. I saw it at Jungle Gyms. It was like $60-$70. I was like, fuck
I hear
that.
I hear it tastes way different though.
It's
like
not crazy
Not
different.
Yolky.
Okay.
Very yolky.
It's a little different, but I also grew up in Alabama with like chickens, like on our property, so I was used to like
Dark yolks.
yeah, like the very dark orange, whatever, and duck eggs from the pond and whatever.
duck eggs are a little different, and duck's a little different than the other like chicken.
They're a little greasier. Like duck's greasy, so if you know how to cook it, it's great. If you don't, it comes out dry and
I'm
fucked
trying to
up.
fuck around with an ostrich egg.
Yeah,
Would you
dude.
fuck an
damn.
ostrich?
What? No.
No. I heard.
It didn't sound
I
terribly
heard
convincing,
something.
so I'm waiting for a second no that sounded
No,
better.
no.
All right.
It took you way
No.
too long to
No?
say no. By the way,
I was confused why I
Apparently,
was
Luke,
brought up with such a stupid fucking question.
Look, apparently their
just saying
vaginas are the same as humans almost.
Cloacas.
So would you fuck one?
No.
you know what that
All
means?
right then.
Stop.
I'm
what? Say that
engaged.
word again.
Cloacas.
Do you guys know what that means?
Human vagina on a bird.
It's a pussy and an asshole, and
the all-purpose
pisses
all.
out of there. So
It's like
everything comes
turkeys
out
have
of there.
that, right?
A lot of birds.
All birds and most reptiles have a cloaca, which is just an all-purpose hole.
Filth
That's why
hole.
it's all like white and black.
A
right?
hole of filth.
That's racist.
Now you can punch him. Just punch right through him through the other wall. Kill
This
the
is me
neighbor's dog.
slowly
in accident.
justifying being an.
All right,
Okay.
next question.
Let's burn through these because there's a lot of them. They're all
Yeah,
fucking
let's-
stupid zoo
let's rip
questions.
through 'em.
Camille says, "Can I pet a kangaroo?"
No, next.
Actually, yes, you can. They just opened the Rue Valley thing where you can walk right through with kangaroos. And
Camille,
so,
get in there, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I actually got a 1 year for my birthday. Rachel got me like a red panda, encounter. Is it worth it?
Yeah,
Totally.
absolutely.
Can you hold them?
Not hold them because
Can I pet them?
yeah,
I can touch
probably.
them.
Depending
That's
on,
gonna be a good day.
depending on who does the encounter and which red pandas they have you around. And
Are some of them assholes? Are they shitty animals?
no,
Are they nice?
they can be aggressive, so they have to be pretty careful with them. But in general, they're not too bad.
They're like Super Saiyan raccoons.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
They're
Super
they're
Saiyan
ultra raccoons, dude.
SS4 fucking
Not
Gogeta
like-
raccoon.
So yes,
Ultra
you can pet
instinct.
a kangaroo.
Hell yeah.
Yes, you can pet a kangaroo.
Solid. All right, next one. I'm gonna need to hear some. Zerlon says I'm gonna need to hear some wild zoo stories, pun intended. And how can you love the Bengals like you're a sadist? All right, so he's shitting on the Bengals.
Yeah. He
What's
says,
up with your
"Fuck
love for
you
the?
and
It
the
is kind of hard.
Bengals."
It's a hard team to love.
No, it's not.
I'm not a.
I'm bred in trauma, kid. Bengals losing every week. That ain't.
That's what.
Why are you guys sadists?
Now that I think about it, there couldn't be a team more like tailored for you
Yeah,
specifically than the
It's-
Bengals. They can never get ahead. They always get fucked every single week.
Yeah, so I grew up in Alabama where we didn't have a team to root for. So I rooted for the Bengals since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Because this is where my grandpa was the only person that I knew that had like a NFL team they rooted for.
Yeah.
So I just was like, yeah, if he likes the Bengals, I like the Bengals. I saw the '88 Super Bowl when I was real young, and then it's been awful since then. So it's kind of fitting for just how my family works in general. And but to answer that question, fuck you, we like the Bengals. It's basically just us making fun of whatever team the Bengals is playing. It gives me a way to be mean for a purpose. It lets my natural like wanting to be a shithead out constructively.
Are you watching like the games as you talk about the pod on the podcast, or are you like? Is it before the?
No, he recorded today, so definitely not.
Yeah, it comes
Okay.
out before the game, and it's literally just us looking at all the players on whatever team and making jokes, like roasting them. Just,
So last week would be all Chargers jokes and shit like that.
yeah, like
And then what they're playing this
on the
week.
Instagram, like their mascot is Boltman. On the Instagram last week was a joke I threw out where I was like, he looks like his name is Kyle Boltman. Which if you see the thing, you'll be like,
Hold on, let's pull it up. This is why we have a pooter.
Boltman. I didn't
I'm
know
gonna
the
type in Kyle
Chargers
Boltman.
had a fucking mascot.
like that run on the top right.
What the fuck?
This is nightmare
this
fuel.
Nightmare, yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Tell me his name's not Kyle.
For sure,
He
100%
looks like
his
he
name's
punches
Kyle. He's got
holes
the
in the
wraparound
wall.
sunglasses and everything, dude. 100% his name's Kyle.
All right,
Like
I
he
need-
pisses Monster
PT
Energy drink.
principal is what he reminds
He
me
rides a
of.
big
I
lifted
don't-
F-350.
I have a huge problem with this.
You should.
This is
fucking
not
terrible.
okay. Everything about the structure of his face, the chin, the smile, everything is disturbing, and it
It's
needs to be
really-
stopped.
It is fucking weird.
Horrifying. The
It's
fucking
like
super
Max
smile.
Headroom on PCP. I know it's an old reference and you guys are all young, but
Fuck.
Is it a David Lynch film? Am I stupid?
Max Headroom? No.
Max Headroom? What is Max Headroom? Hold on. Oh, it's that MTV thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what it is. I've forgotten. I didn't actually grow up with this.
Oh yeah,
It's like something
it's like
somebody
one of the
else
most
showed me.
disturbing or weirdest things that happen on television. Randomly, this fucking guy was just showing up saying random shit. Is that?
Yeah, it was. He was using a bunch of commercials and shit, and he was in like one of the Back to the Future movies and whatever. But it was just basically he would glitch out, and they did it with like a shitty, distorted overlay as if it was somehow futuristic. I never understood it,
Right.
but I remember it from being little. Like, why is that happening?
Just freaking you out. That's why I thought David Lynch as soon as I saw, because it's like it's some David
It's
Lynch
not
shit.
far off.
Yeah.
it has that same feeling like inside.
I don't like this. Why am I
ugh.
doing this to myself watching
like,
this
does my-
fucking movie?
Did my heart just grow a beard? Like, why is it itchy inside?
Yeah, dude. That's the perfect way to describe it too. It's just itchy in your chest and you can't
Yeah.
get it out. It's like, God, turn Eraserhead off. I don't understand why people. I've seen that movie like 6 fucking times. I don't even know what I watched. I get like halfway through it and I just start zoning out and staring at the shit
Psychedelics,
happening.
that's
Some
why
weird
Cody's
fever
What is
dream.
happening?
It just gets halfway through it, and then the shame boners start, and it's it's rough. It's
Yeah,
rough.
dude.
I get it.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's
There's
knock
nothing but the cleanse post shame boner. You know
Yeah,
what I
dude.
First one.
out. All right, we got more of these, and we're gonna get into a crack smoking thread that I started. I mean, you got any good crack smoking stories? If so, save them. But
Think
I've
of
been
them
stabbed
now.
with a crack pipe once.
dude,
Well,
fucking
we're
wait
gonna
a
get into
minute.
it.
Wait a minute. We'll get there. Holy shit. What do you think of Bright? We're skipping that
No,
question.
we're not. Hold
We're
on.
skipping it.
Have you ever seen the movie Bright?
Yes, and I've heard you bring it up way too many fucking times.
I hate
I
this
agree with them.
fucking
We can
question.
just drop it real quick.
Everyone's
I just
forgot
wanna know your
about it.
opinion.
I didn't hate it because I expected to hate it a lot. So I watched and I went, that could have been way worse.
Yeah.
All right, so Patrick's
All right,
wrong
that's it.
again.
And I watched it
No.
once and I liked it, and we talked about it way too many times 2 years ago, and now I'm over it.
I just wanted a quick answer.
No,
you guys are the ones who want to keep talking about it.
Here's the thing. I hope they do another one.
You stopped us moving on to a better question.
It's
To be
a
like,
fan
hold
question."
on, no, we need to know.
Well, they asked.
Okay.
Hold up. Let
No,
me.
no.
Make, I want to be clear to the fans. Sometimes you guys are stupid. We're not going to ask you dumb fucking questions.
Thanks, Luke.
I
agree
angry
with
reacted to
You.
that.
I agree with Luke. Sometimes the fans suck, and I don't want to hear their stupid fucking
Hold on,
questions.
who asked the question about Bright?
It's Devin DeHaan.
Hey,
All right,
Devin
Devin.
DeHaan. Please go fuck yourself in the dick hole with a cactus.
Thank you.
Might be a girl.
That's how I felt
Pussy hole.
watching that movie.
He meant how do you
Either
say that
way,
word?
dick hole.
Colloquial? Whatever it
Cloaca.
is? Yeah, cloaca.
Go fuck yourself in the cloaca with a cactus.
Damn.
Steve Worth, he's our boy. What's the most difficult or taxing part of your job? What's the most unnerving part of your job?
So I work in animal nutrition. So we get all the food in, break it down, deliver it. The most taxing part is unloading hay trucks.
Why is that?
That's supposed to be heavy.
Because you're basically in a hot pocket sleeve, like the giant tin barn in the middle of the summer,
Oh, goddamn.
picking up something that weighs 60 pounds 1,200 times. and
Covered in
throwing it.
ticks and shit? Is
And
there
you're just-
awful stuff all over it?
No, but you're sweaty, so every little bit of the dust sticks to you. You breathe it in. It's like you blow your nose with hay for 3 weeks.
Jesus, that sounds horrible.
It sucks, but I also get to go to work every day where if I want to, I can walk up and watch cheetahs playing with their cubs and then walk through a botanical garden to get there. So
That's amazing. Yeah, so it's
Would
a
you
fucking great trade-off.
Would you say that's the most unnerving part?
Yeah, what's the
most-
most unnerving?
the most unnerving part is the few times I have to deal with public.
Like actually talk to other human beings?
So my job is almost exclusively behind the scenes. But sometimes I fuck up and walk out into the park where humans are. There's a reason I work with animals. I'm gonna make that a real tight butthole point to start. I'll tell you one of my most depressing moments. I walked by the insect house, which is called the Insectarium. And as I'm walking by, I see what I can only explain as a Crittenden, Kentucky person. Like, I don't know where he's from, but I'm probably not wrong.
I'm imagining Rebel Flag hat, Budweiser t-shirt.
Literally acid wash jeans with a bandana tied around his leg.
Love it.
Oh,
Sick, dude.
okay.
Dale Earnhardt shirt. Not joking.
Okay.
Backwards hat.
16 years after he died.
Raise hell, praise hell.
Bandana on his leg. What the fuck?
And his 400-pound significant other who was wearing like terry cloth shorts and a Tweety Bird shirt.
Is it gangster Tweety Bird? Like Tweety Bird with some...
Gangster Looney Tunes, bro.
We're still a step back.
Okay.
I was going to bring up the...
Gangster Looney Tunes.
Yeah, because that was a reference as well. But unfortunately in this case, no. It was like a sweet one.
Oh,
God.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I have family members that look like this, exactly what you're describing.
So
I'm sorry.
everything about the sentence that came out of his mouth, like, cut deeper into a different part of me. Because he went, "Hey, TT," and whatever that creature was looks at him. He goes, "Get them kids. We ain't going to Insectarium."
Oh, no.
I was literally walking down to get lunch. As soon as I heard that sentence, I turned around and walked back to my building. Like, well, nope. I'm
Not
done.
eating.
I'm done for today.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, TT, get them kids, not our
get them kids, TT.
not your kids, not my kids, them kids. We go into the Insectarium."
How's it pronounced?
Insectarium.
Insectarium. It's right there in big letters too, right? So nobody can
I don't think the letters were a big influencer on how he sees things.
When you first told me that, when you were first talking about the story, the first thing that came to mind is like, I'm going to tell you the most depressing thing. And I walked out and I saw people taking the bugs out of the insect area and smashing them in front of me. I was like,
If
oh
he
my
had
God.
chopped up a bug and snorted it, it would have hurt my feelings less than hearing that sentence in that accent and just the confidence with it. Like, it really did crush me. Like, that dude has no doubts about how he lives his life.
Never.
I wake up every day like, I'm doing this fucking awful. I'm fucking this up. I'm not a good enough dad. I'm not. That dude's never had one of those doubts.
He's so confident, 100%.
The cantaloupe-sized balls on this dude just to aggressively and openly, but, "Hey, TT, get them kids. We going in the Insectarium," and then strutted like a fucking peacock, like he had just crushed life. And I went, I'll never be that happy.
Dude, that dude is
dude's super
like
cool.
the embodiment of ignorance is bliss.
But he's also
Right.
and
I'll
it's-
never be that happy. So it was very depressing to me personally.
Now, what's fucking hilarious about this and why I love Lloyd is he started this off with, you want to hear the most depressing story that you've ever heard, after he told his story about his brother shooting himself in the head and when he was 14 and when Lloyd was 12, and then fucking tells another story about how his two best friends kill each other and then himself, and then fucking tells me about his dad drinking himself to death, and he's like, you want to hear the most depressing story ever? This dude from Kentucky ruined my entire life with his happiness.
I mean, it might have more of effect on me day to day than the other things.
I hear
it
you
might.
though.
Yeah, it seems like
I
it
think
haunts
about that
you
shit all the
every
time,
single
like-
morning.
It cut every bit of self-confidence or self-worth I've ever worked to develop out from under me in a whirlwind of, you know what, they would be misspelled if you wrote them down. None of those words would be correct if you actually wrote them.
Yeah.
It's like another language almost.
But
And
he
that
said
dude
them
thinks he's the
so
shit.
confidently and so assuredly that I was just like, God damn. Like, I couldn't eat.
I'm sick. I'm so sick.
I picked up a Jersey Mike sub on the way home after my dad died. Like, I left there and picked up a Jersey Mike's. I ate that night.
But
Couldn't eat.
today you couldn't.
And the
Wow.
amount of
But
confidence
the day
in this
that
man.
happened, like
If you saw this guy again, would you recognize him? Like, would you like?
he is
know
burned.
TT.
He is burned into my brain in such a. I know that dude better than I know most of my best friends.
You ever figure out who he is?
You close
No.
your eyes and draw a picture of his face
if
right
I
now.
like, if someone fucked up and gave me like his Facebook profile, one, I would never not check it hourly,
Wow.
in the middle of this
two-
podcast.
and two, I would never not be 10 times more depressed on a daily basis than I am now.
We got to get him on the podcast.
Would you also like add and follow TT Bucket of Mayo Johnson? You
Yeah,
know,
like-
his wife.
I don't know,
Like
dude.
TT?
he was so confident and she was so slow to react, and I'm like, how? How is any of this real? How is the like it felt like doing mushrooms and watching H.R. Geiger porn while being assaulted by pterodactyls. Like
Wow.
That's Luke's preferred weekend.
So cool. That sounds so cool.
like my brain was so assaulted, but I had nowhere to put it. It bothered me way more than I would be comfortable ever expressing, and I'm saying it in this terms to you guys. Like, I don't
I'm
know that there's
sorry.
a day that's gone by I haven't thought about it.
Do you always think
Wow.
about, like, is that where your brain goes every time that you see happy, stupid people? Or is it
If
just
I catch
this
myself
dude?
smiling, sometimes I think about it.
You're like, oh, fuck, dude, I'll never be that happy. I get it, though. I think
Like,
about...
I just did a shitty knockoff version of what that guy is.
I feel like I can picture this guy in my head.
You can. Take your first thought of whatever you think when I describe
Did he
that
have
family.
tattoos?
You're right. He sure did.
He sure
He
did.
sure
Probably had a
did.
bunch of fucking logo tattoos.
And if you're guessing if
like
one of them was a
Ford.
Tasmanian devil,
I was thinking
sure
it was.
Whole back of his arm off of his sleeveless
Taz,
fucking shirt.
Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, sure was. Sure
But he was a gangster.
Also, giant cross and praying hands on the other arm.
Of
Lighter,
course.
I'm imagining lighter clip. Was that there?
Wait,
on the belt?
wait.
I didn't get there.
Analyzing.
Were the names of his children anywhere on his body?
Dem children?
Them children.
Were they baby face tattoos?
I don't know because he was wearing the acid wash jeans and only the
I
sleeveless
feel like
shirts.
he did.
Why
somewhere.
would someone wear a bandana on their leg?
Killing
Like,
life.
realistically, what's
That's literally my
if
best
you were in
answer.
his shoes
killing
and you were
life right
putting
now.
a bandana on your leg, what's
If I was in his shoes, I would have to accept wearing Velcro, which is never going to happen. So we have to rework that question because I have a solid mental image of this dude, and I am very well aware that he was wearing gray and dark blue Velcro shoes.
Oh, Jesus.
So when you say if I was in
don't-
his shoes, I go just another reason to
I
kill
don't
myself
fucking.
today.
I don't trust nobody that
You're-
wears Velcro shoes. No
Lloyd,
one.
not a lot of people are going to get this reference, but you are the Ohio's Chad Shank. Just the more that I talk to you, you're the fucking Chad Shank of Ohio. If you don't know who Chad Shank is, it's
Check
for a
out the
good reason.
Stanhope
He's not
podcast.
like, just listen to Stanhope's podcast. He's a dude that lives in Bisbee that fucking, I tried to get him on the show, but he was like, dude, I don't even want to fucking do my own podcast, let alone somebody else's. I was like, I totally get it. I understand 100%, but just like your feelings on depression and life.
He's literally the
other
only reason I
humans.
still have Words with Friends on my phone. Is me and him play Words with Friends, and
Oh, that's cool.
awesome. Yeah.
I can't. I've wanted to delete the app because I don't play it with anyone else. But every once in a while, I'll still start a game
It's like
with
your
him.
your connection.
I imagine you two being fucking like brothers or some shit.
I
like his
really
little
do.
brother.
I feel like it would take us about 7 seconds to like look each other up and down once and just be like, "All right, we're good."
Yeah.
Good seeing you. Words with friends. Words with
Yeah, I don't know that me and him would have conversations so much as like
Yeah.
monosyllabical grunts
Right.
to exchange ideas. Like, and he would just hand me the bottle of rum, and he'd be like, and I'd hand him a pack of cigarettes.
You know exactly what you wanted from all the grunts.
yeah.
too?
I think me and him would devolve quickly into just a.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe Chad Shank for anybody. It's basically Lloyd. You're the same fucking person.
Chad's a very, very bright guy.
Yeah.
I've heard some of the most ridiculous stories come out of
Chad's
that
an
dude's
actual sociopath. He talks about it all the time. Like he has no.
He
He
has the-
fakes. He even said that he raised his children like that. He was like, "Well, how the fuck do I raise kids? Because I can't love them." So he's like, "Well, I'll just like manipulate them the way that I manipulate people, but manipulate them in a positive way." And I was like, "What a fucking like brilliant way to think about that."
So I
if
have
you
a
have
daughter
that
who-
problem in your brain.
So I have a daughter who will probably listen to this, but she's also smarter than me. My daughter just graduated high school a year early.
Congratulations.
That's
That's awesome.
Nice.
Still was in the top 2 of her class.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Holy shit,
She
that's
graduated
amazing.
a year early. She's probably killing it in the smarts department.
Well, I mean, I feel like that just shows what her class was capable of. They're like, we need to bring back the girl who graduated early.
Well, I mean, she
We
did.
gotta just name
This
drop
isn't
her.
Florida, so let's temper how we're viewing it. She did move to Florida, but in Jacksonville, she managed to test out.
That's awesome.
So one of her counselors sent me an email, and it was like, your daughter just out-tested all of our AP seniors by 41 points on a 600-point test.
God
Holy shit.
damn.
Why wasn't she not in a gifted program? Why was she not and then, like, just a list of like guilt tags
Jesus.
where I'm like, well, I mean, I've done all the things I know to do,
Right.
but my kid's funny, and that means so much more to me.
Yeah, than any of the smart shit.
Yeah.
Like, you have a good sense of humor. That's what I care about.
Well, smart's only got a value to a certain point if you have the will to make that work for you.
Exactly.
My daughter at 14, I'll tell you a fun story. So, a comedian who used to live around here named Kyle Jeffers. Kyle had a nose ring, white kid from Wyoming, kind of hippie vibe to him.
I think I've seen him before.
Very, very funny dude.
Did he do a stand-up? Did he open for stand-up in a big fucking suit, like dressed as a rabbit or some shit like that, and never addressed it?
No.
Okay, sorry. Keep going.
But this is back when Rand Barnacle, who's been on the podcast, he was my roommate, and Kyle was staying with us a lot at the time. So my daughter came up to visit from Florida, and this is when she's like 14. And she walks out of her room one night, and it's like me, Rand, Kyle, Andrew Root, a couple other comedians. There's probably 6 comics, me, and her in the house. And she comes out and she goes, hey, are we still going to the piercing place tomorrow? And Kyle goes, oh, are we getting our belly button pierced? And she looks at him, she goes, no, I'm getting a nose ring like a 14-year-old girl would. And then walked out on the joke.
Oh, shit! It didn't
And-
wait for a laugh.
No,
Didn't
all 6 comics die laughing.
Oh, my God. That's awesome.
And about 90 seconds later, my kid sticks her head out the door, looks directly at me, gives me the wink, the little nod, like, I know I crushed it, and just went back to playing Sims.
Oh, your daughter's awesome. dude.
Savage.
That's fucking great.
Now, if you go back on some of the episodes of Fuck You, We Like Them English, she actually did the ad reads on one of them and melted my brain. Because she can make my co-host on the podcast. I love Alex Schubert to death, but he is terrified of my child.
Why?
Because she's so
Because
smart.
she rips him to shreds. So he's a substitute teacher and a DJ.
Yeah.
And he said both of those things in front of her. And he regretted both of them so immediately.
What was her response?
He was like, oh, I'm a substitute teacher, and blah, blah. She was like, oh, cool, yeah, just directing the nation's youth with your, okay. Like, couldn't have been more dismissive. And he was like, well, but I'm also a DJ. She's like, don't make it worse.
Savage.
Just crushed him, dude. Oh, no. I hope your daughter applies herself. If she could run the world, if she wanted, she could be Hillary Clinton. She's ruthless.
She's sharp.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know if she can beat Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton's reptilian. Did you know that?
Space lizards. Hail Nimrod. What are we doing?
That's not exact, because I want to hear the story about this crack pipe stab, whatever he was
That's
talking
really
about.
boring. But
Oh, never mind.
Well, we got until 9:30, so we got a little bit of time. Let's power through these questions real fast. Do you get attached to animals still, or do you sort of stop yourself from getting overly attached? Stephen Bjorn.
no, I still get attached. You can't not. Certain things have such big personalities for what they are, and so much of what you learn from like documentaries and stuff is kind of wrong, but kind of right. You know what I mean? Like one of my favorite animals that's ever been at the zoo was a black rhino named Marshall. Every day, I'd walk up, I'd pull one of the bananas out of the delivery bin, I'd jangle my keys, he'd come running out, I'd hand it to him. It was just our morning.
That's awesome.
Surprisingly peaceful animal.
Yeah, and when he passed that, I was surprised by how much it bothered me. Like, I didn't think it would have got to me the way it did.
They have a lot of personality to them. There was this one time I went with my brother, and there was this one rhino. I don't know if it's the same rhino. I don't know. This was like 6 years ago. But it was acting all tough and stuff, like huffing and puffing, like trying to make a show, and then it tripped. And, you know, it just did not look tough anymore after that.
How often animals do, like, dumb human shit is... I watch a cheetah miss its front paw and just bite it and like roll
Somersault.
6 or 7 times.
Jesus Christ.
And you're like, oh, you really are just all right. Yeah.
I watched who is it? Coco, the gorilla who could sign language. Yeah.
Yeah.
After I'd seen all
know
of
real
her
sign
footage,
language.
after I had seen all of her footage,
I don't, but my girlfriend does.
right away was convinced that there's a deeper intellect to animals than.
Oh yeah.
Well, not all of them.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, some are dumb as fuck.
Yeah, cheetahs are stupid.
Are they?
They
Dumb as
walk
fuck?
into shit.
Without looking?
Yeah, I don't. Like, oh, you're one of the most fastest and agile things. Hey, stop. You just walked into that platform for the 4th time since I've been
You
standing
just walked
here.
in your shit.
They just have like shitty depth
Do
perception.
you
No,
think they're
they're
going
just
crazy
dumb.
from
They
not
just don't pay
hunting, though?
attention.
Do you
No.
think the zoo, like, at any level, like, makes them different?
No, because even a lot of the cheetahs over in Namibia or whatever, they're kept in very.
It's got a huge enclosure back there, doesn't it?
Yeah. Every.
Where they run around and shit. It's like
I'm
a whole
not saying
arena.
that. I'm not saying the zoo's cruel.
No.
Yeah,
I understand that wasn't the question. It's. No, they just. Even when you see ones in the wild, they just do dumb shit all the time. Cheetahs just. The outtakes from cheetah documentaries are hilarious. Like, you'll just see one, like, walking along and looking at something and just walk into a tree. I think they're just so singularly focused on whatever they're doing at a time that they do clumsy, silly shit.
But that doesn't
Yeah.
play well in National Geographic, so
Yeah,
they got to
but-
cut those parts out.
But for something that looks so sleek and smooth
The
and
cheetah
cool
is
as
the
it
most
runs,
majestic dumbass you'll ever see.
they don't just show the outside clips where it walked into a fucking tree. Like,
Right, dude. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the surprising intelligence of the gorillas. Although I'm not like when I think about it, I'm not like surprised that gorillas are that smart that they could like articulate themselves and learn sign language and understand very human concepts if you explain it to them in a means of communication that they can understand. Well, because they come from the same branch of evolution that we're on, right? Because they like when
Kinda.
hominids evolved. Well, yeah, but
Well,
they're on some
Yeah, but like
same
there's-
as us, so it makes sense. But when you see it, like when you see Robin Williams with them and shit like that, you're like, holy fuck, this is crazy. Like in your head, it makes sense, but then you see it and it's like, no, this
Wow,
is
that's
fucking
real.
But
intensely crazy.
It's not even just that. It's like, when growing up and going to the zoo as a kid, you have like this disassociation. Like, this is a thing that's in this enclosure and I can see it at any time when I go to see it. It's a thing of entertainment. It's there for me to go, ooh, wow, and move on about my day. Whereas like Coco. Now, when I had seen these, like this, I didn't watch it like a month ago, and like, oh, I love animals now, like this is something I had seen years ago. But no, like Coco, when she was responding to not just the Robin Williams video, but like also his death, but like to understand the mourn and like that she misses him and everything, like it kind of like woke something up. Like there's more. Like just like fungus, like just because they don't walk around, live and breathe, and like go to work and pay taxes or talk
not
to
where
us and
you
use
live.
word.
Yeah, because
or
they're
use words,
smarter
but,
than
like,
us.
They're
They'll do a bunch of shit they don't have to do.
where's the bathroom?
Exactly.
I gotta piss.
Right at that door, it's right in the hallway. First one on the left.
Not the very first one. The one after that, you'll see a little.
Take a right, take the first left.
All right. Anyways, Luke.
I mean, the one was kind of taken out of the
I think that's still pretty crazy, though. I mean, it's super surreal. Like, you see all these movies and shit, and you're like, oh, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, surely that can't happen. Then you're like, oh, they know sign language? Might be closer than you think.
Yeah, I don't know.
probably
Those
not.
movies were fucking tight, but I didn't see the last one. I heard it sucked ass. Did they ruin that movie series?
What?
By
The
the end?
Planet
well,
of the
any-
Apes? When they rebooted it, I really liked the first
Yeah.
and second one. I never saw the third one.
neither
Third
did
one
I.
might be good, but I
Third one's
really,
alright.
really, really liked the first and second one.
The
a
only
lot.
memorable thing about the third one is that Woody Harrelson's in it, and that's because he kind of ruined the movie because it's Woody Harrelson. I like Woody Harrelson, let me just say that, but when he's in a movie, it's all you can see is him. You get
There's
what I mean?
certain actors that are like that whenever you have them on.
Like
It's
Johnny Depp. When he was in like the new Harry Potter movies, the Fantastic Beasts, I was like, is this a fucking joke? Is this a joke? You're taking the magic out of everything. Maybe.
Well,
I'm
yeah, because
wrong.
those movies, are, like, especially since they use a lot of like UK heavy actors. It's it's a bunch of disguise to us, like a bunch of people we don't know, and then they put in like a name brand person. We're like, whoa, this suddenly isn't so magical anymore.
Yeah.
Pat, I gotta
bullshit.
say, this fucking tincture fucked me up. I lost all my juice. I had jokes and shit. Now it's all.
Nah, you just suck
Nah,
on the
you're
mic.
just a vagina.
You just suck on the mic.
No, I don't suck on the mic. There's fucking like 150 episodes proving that wrong, but I took that and then I went from fucking the energy to tell jokes to be funny, and then Lloyd got here and I was like, why does my insides feel weird? And like I'm all weirdly jittery and nervous, and I catch my mouth hanging open, and I'm like, why am I like? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's a fucking tincture. It has me all fucked up now.
Speaking of which,
and I should have done it before a podcast. It was a mistake, and I regret it.
let's get through these questions right when he comes back, and then get
He's
into
back.
your crazy freak out that you had on our Facebook group, because we'd love to dog on you.
If you guys want to dog on me, fine. But hold on.
Also, I'm gonna say the last 15 seconds I was in that bathroom was me deciding whether or not I was about to use that tushy thing just to check one out.
Did you?
The bidet.
I didn't.
I haven't yet.
You
I
should
had a-
use it.
Since he got that installed,
Well, I was like, I
got to
get back to the podcast. If I was just here hanging out, I for sure would have seen what that felt like on my butthole. Like,
Yeah.
It's vulnerable your first time. It's
No,
cold.
I bet it ain't.
It's
My
very
asshole
sharp.
is a fucking disaster area, so it would just all it did was help. It was great. You just don't turn it up too high at first, but I need that full pressure because it's
It will
bad
hurt.
in there.
You need to
It will
like
hurt
fucking
if you
power
spray it.
wash
I
Yeah,
that
assure you,
doctor.
the first time I'm turning it all the way up.
It will
Yeah.
hurt. It will hurt.
It didn't hurt me
Don't
at
know
all.
my life.
If you turn it up all the way, it will.
He's trying to bust a nut on the
Well,
toilet.
okay,
no, no,
Cody's
hit it
got
all
so
the way
much
up, hit
scar
that
tissue on
prostate.
his asshole.
I'm just saying that like that might replace my last vestige of reasons for having a girlfriend.
Having a bidet.
Yeah, if the
Dude, it's only
toilet
like
can lick
70
my
bucks.
asshole, what do I need her for?
See,
Yeah, dude.
Cody gets it.
I'm
Yeah.
with you.
And
Yeah.
you can turn it up, turn it low.
Yeah, it doesn't interrupt me watching movies to show me some dumb TikTok video that I have to pretend to laugh at because I want to
Just
get
go-
laid tonight.
My mom's like,
I love hearing Cody say things on the show and then knowing it's gonna start a conversation while he's editing it.
Yeah,
She's gonna
he's,
hear it.
he's playing it. He's
Oh,
saying
no,
this
she-
shit, and then he's gonna hear about it later.
She laughs. She's got
Hey,
a good
Allie,
sense of
Allie,
humor.
Laughs
Allie.
while she beats you.
it was a good joke. It was a fun run. I love
exactly.
you. You're a sweetheart.
It was
You gave me a
comedy
big hug.
gold.
We're friends. We're friends, even if you don't remember.
Yeah, she's a sweet person.
Yeah, she gave me a big hug.
Oh wait, were you at the one where I was blackout incoherent with Stanhope and I was
Yes,
falling
where
around
me
like
and
a
her
stalker?
were kind of making fun of you.
Oh, so embarrassing. I hate that.
Yeah, me and her were
Jesus.
basically kind of making fun of you.
And Stanhope was like, "All right, get your bitch," and points to fucking Allie and says, "Get your bitch," talking about me. I'm
Yeah.
the bitch.
Yeah.
Because it was when I had the beer in my inside coat pocket, and I leaned over and fucking
Yeah, and then
tears everywhere. And
You
I was
looked up
"Oh."
like, "Hey, don't call her that," and I was like, "No one."
Could you imagine meeting like your comedic hero and then making yourself look like a fool?
Oh, he gets it a lot. I'm sure.
He no.
Wasn't even phased by it. I doubt
So
it.
just if it makes you feel any better, when you left, he's like, I do like that kid.
He didn't say that. Don't
He
fucking,
did. No.
Don't lie.
I didn't
I
tell
don't
him my
know.
name though.
Are you
He is-
joking?
Huh?
And then I didn't tell him my name. I wrote him, and he was like, "Well, of course I didn't remember you. You didn't tell
No,
me
no,
your
no.
name was Cody Hucker." He
I'm
said it
saying
on
when
the
you walked
podcast.
away, he was like, "Oh, I like that kid." And they didn't know who you were.
Yeah.
He just, I think he's so used to having that level of drunk that he
Yeah.
gets who you are.
Right. Well,
Like he
I don't
understands
believe
the
you.
translation.
Well, when I met
no,
him,
so here's
I
how-
remember because I walked out of the club because I was like, if I get out first, because I was the first one to want to leave. Everybody's sitting around. I was like, fucking meet Stanhope. And I walk around, him and Bingo there, and I got cold feet. I was like, I'm not going to bother him. And I wasn't that drunk yet, or all the alcohol from the 10 drinks I had in the club. My friends are giving me drinks they didn't want, so they don't let you drink 10 drinks. But I'll get them in and pregame and beforehand and shit like that. And then I get out there, and the alcohol isn't fully kicked in, so I still remember. And then he sees me, see him, and I go to turn away, and he's like, no, come on. And we go back there, and I was like, my girlfriend, she's like, yeah, bring her. And then we come back there, and he's smoking a cigarette or whatever, and I didn't know really what to say. Like, I fucking love you, Stanhope. And he's like, oh, thanks, man. And it was like, thanks for mentioning me on the podcast. And he was like, oh, why did we mention you? And I was like, I don't want you to have to pretend to remember me. He's like, all right, well, whatever. And then I was like, I don't even want a picture. I just want a hug. Can I just hug you? And he was like, yeah, you get a picture, stupid. And then he was like, I'll give you a hug. And he's just the
suck your dick?
sweetest dude ever.
I'm standing 5 feet away for this whole interaction, by the
Yeah,
way.
he was he's a sweetheart. I love Stanhope.
By this point, I've seen Stanhope enough times where him, Bingo, fucking Greg Chaley, like he'll pick me out of the crowd. Oh,
regular
okay.
faces.
Like-
I've seen comedians do it to you. You're like,
Yeah.
they would fuck with you the whole time, and then they have you stand up on the stage, and you're fucking towering over them. They're making
Yeah.
jokes about you being the big tall guy or whatever.
Yeah, it's like I've seen Stanhope probably I think I'm at like 37-ish times.
Fuck.
Yeah, I've only seen him 3
That's
times.
my favorite comic of all time, and comedy is one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah.
Stand up changed my life after my dad killed himself. He was the only person that made sense. It was like everything that he's saying out loud is all thoughts that I didn't know how to articulate. Like when I saw No Refunds in 2007, right after my dad killed himself, that special was out.
That is the best
Watch that.
special ever recorded by any
Ever.
comet ever.
Of all
period,
time.
hands down,
I'm
done.
gonna have to.
I've seen it
watch this.
150 times.
I have it
Man.
on DVD to the point where it's my second DVD I had of it because the first one literally no longer reflects on the fucking center ring.
Yeah, dude.
I used to play it every night when I was going to sleep.
I used to
you
have it
guys-
memorized, every word. I could sit there and
I
do
could,
it with
I could
him.
do the set. I could do the hour set.
You guys should totally make a side podcast. Hear me out. The Doug Stanhope fan podcast, huh?
There's
I
like
annoy
four,
Stan-
there's
Starring
like
Cody
4 of
Hucker
them.
and Lloyd Johnson.
No,
I'm
there's like
embarrassed.
4 of them, and they're terrible.
Yeah.
Well, you guys can make a good one.
We've had James
Probably
Inman on here, and I don't think they dug it because I'm
Inman is not a fan.
not a fan of what.
Me.
Oh, really? Did you shit all over him?
We need to have Inman back on now.
He was
Let's
not.
have you both on.
He wasn't
Let's
a
call
fan
him right now.
I don't know that he would remember the interaction, but we're in Louisville, and he did a guest spot.
Did he bomb?
Yeah.
I imagine him bombing.
Like he just
I like.
He basically
he appears in our group sometimes and he shits on someone, then he vanishes. He's a phantom for months.
He basically berated the entire crowd for being from Kentucky,
Oh my god, such an Inman thing to do.
even though he's in Louisville, Kentucky, doing a show.
I don't know. He's a fool.
It
No
was,
laughs.
No, like there
No,
was
you're not gonna
there
get
was a
laughs.
couple like me and a handful of other people that were like, okay, I get this is just Inman.
But if you don't know who Inman is, which is most people, you're not gonna get like the joke, which is just Inman is the joke. It's his personality is the fucking funny part.
Right.
It's not his jokes that he's not crafting great humor. He is a fuck up that is fun to laugh at.
But
because
he
he's a
also
fuck up.
aggressively buried Brett Erickson. Who
How?
was coming up after
Oh,
him.
you mean just making the crowd hate him?
Yeah, he was like shouting like, Brett Erickson's gonna come up and he's gonna do da 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 da, but he fucking thinks you're a goddamn mouth breathing toothless fucking hick too. Like, it's like, why are you aggressively burying the next person? Like, it was just very Inman.
God damn.
What did you do in response? Was it in response to all this?
I thought I was being funny. Everyone else seemed to think it was funny. James did not.
Shocker. Never heard a story like that before.
It wasn't like it's not anything incredible I did. It was just I talked to Inman and Inman was very Inman. That's basically the story.
Yeah. He did it to me too. Shut your fucking cunt hole, you fucking. Because I tried to play devil's
He was
advocate.
not that aggressive with me, but
No,
we were standing
we're on a
6 feet
Zoom
away.
chat,
Yeah.
right? We're not like face to face. I don't think Inman would be fucking full vault, or maybe he would. I'm not like some big scary Lloyd character, but I let Inman scream till spit flies in my face. You know what I mean? But yeah. Anyways, how do we get on this fucking Stanhope topic?
I don't know.
Because you guys love him.
I do.
I do. Yeah.
In love.
100%. I love that dude. Yeah,
I will
I'm sure
put-
I annoy him. So I just put this out in the open. When I get drunk, I get super emphatic, and a lot of friends get fucking 3-paragraph "I love you" messages from me and shit like that. But I'll do that to a person that I don't know that is a famous comedian, and
We
I'm
drunkenly
like,
did that
"Why
just-
would I do this to people. Wake up and just hate myself. And
Cody and I just
shoot
drunkenly
myself.
did that at the same night,
Yeah,
like
dude.
3 weeks ago.
Like, I fucking love you, bro. I miss you. I don't know if you.
That's how I ended up on this podcast.
You
It's
two
literally
are
us.
just too sweet.
Yeah.
The last time I saw Lloyd, he saved me from some fucking hippie. It was just this dude at a bar where I'm trying to get drunk and have a good time, and like you're at a bar to have alcohol and have a good fucking. I'm on the porch because I want to smoke a cigarette, and what this dick wants to talk to me about is how DMT could be better than that alcohol and cigarette that I want so desperately. And I'm sitting by myself because I came to the bar by myself because I don't want to fucking interact with anybody. I'm here to get fucked up enough and play a little pool with some strangers that I don't have to. If I'm embarrassing and do something stupid, my friends don't see it. Strangers that have never met me see it. And
Or
I'm
me.
or Lloyd that I didn't.
And
know
I
was
have
there.
no judgment. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And he's seen me blackout drunk before, so whatever. But I'm sitting there, and this dude's just going on with half facts about DMT that I know, and I don't know that much about it. But I
Also,
know
he just bought cocaine off a friend of mine
really.
30 minutes before this.
Okay, so for sure, there's a reason he can't shut the fuck up. I get it now. Yeah,
So-
I've gotten too coked up and fucking done that to people at bars.
I
so-
saw Cody like in that like putting your hand on your forehead like So my thought was let's go alpha male and this guy won't be able to stay in the conversation for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Was I wrong?
Not at all. This dude had to get the fuck out of there immediately. Like, Beta's out and had to
I just started talking like Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
fucking Brendan Schaub, MMA.
Exactly. That was exactly the You have a really good memory. That was exactly the fucking conversation. I was like, oh, yeah, you just see the one where they were talking about blah, 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 and we're going back and forth. And this dude just immediately fucking...
Oh, yeah, it did fall apart, didn't it?
Wait, what happened?
There was a lot of shit that went down with him, apparently.
I haven't been paying
Callen's
attention to
career
him.
is now gone.
Yeah, it's
Was
not,
it a
not
sexual
great.
allegation, right? And it went, yeah.
He had
Canceled.
He had quite a few sexual accusations towards him. He lost the podcast at Fighter and the Kid that he's no longer a part of. The Kid is now a random guest every other week, and
It'll end up
Jesus.
being
He
fucking Theo Von, so it'll be just wildly
tried to-
unintelligible by the end.
he tried to do some Patreon show called like the Fighter and the something really fucking weird.
Rapist.
And the company who like owns the title of his podcast was like, "No, you're not doing that," and pulled it. So
I saw his,
he's got
like,
nothing going
apology
right now.
video.
Actually, he's got something with
Yeah.
Sam Tripoli.
He put
right
out some
now.
shitty comedy special that sucked. I don't know.
He's doing something
it
with
was
Sam
funny to-
Tripoli.
Sam Tripoli to
Yeah.
save his comedy career. Guy hasn't written a fucking joke in 18 years.
I'm so happy
Yeah.
you feel that way about him. I don't fuck with Sam Tripoli either, but
Space lizards.
it's like, all right, dude. Tenfold had conspiracy podcast. I'm like, I'm so fucking tired
Welch.
of conspiracies. Like,
And
I'm
guess
over
what?
it.
You and Eddie Bravo, stick to the things you're good at. You go cook chicken wings. He'll do jujitsu.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Cringe.
Oh man, you know what I loved? I was listening to Legion of Skanks, and they got a lie detector, and they fucking hooked
I
everybody
watched
up.
every bit of that.
When they made Ari, they were like, "Do you respect Brendan Schaub's comedy?" And he was like, "Oh, he's a nice guy.
Dude.
I like him a lot." And then he was like, "Yes."
was-
And then he was like, "Hold on, this isn't one of my questions. Do you respect David Tell's comedy?" "Yes, of course I do." And he's like, "That's what it sounds
See,
like when
that's
he's
what it
not
sounds
lying."
like when you're not lying.
I was like,
I watched
"Fuck yeah,
every
dude."
second of that, and I legitimately like had to like drool off my lip when they were like, "Do you respect Brendan Schaub as a comic?"
I got so excited, and then it popped up like 100% a lie.
Yeah.
I was like,
It
"Oh,
was
Is he
beautiful."
the one that Rogan said you can't fight?
Yeah, he's
So-
made
so-
him quit
so
That
people
fighting.
dude
get
is
the-
just, he just seems like a
People give him
a
shit and
failure.
say he wasn't a good fighter. He was a good fighter. If you beat Mirko Cro Cop, you're a good fighter. I don't give a shit.
The dude's an assassin. He's a fucking killer.
He just ran into some real wrecking machines that were coming through. Like, I think Brendan could have fought for another few years and had... He wasn't bad. He ran into Travis Brown while Travis Brown was fucking his ex-girlfriend, Ronda Rousey.
Yikes.
Yeah,
And he got elbowed into fucking oblivion.
right.
But if you watch the 3 fights before that, they weren't bad. He was not a bad fighter. That does not make him a good comic.
Not at all. I don't know. I'm sorry, but that
I
dude.
thought you had to be a good fighter
It's
to
a
be a
snooze
good
fest.
comic.
Nope.
He got
Sure don't. Hey, I'm a good fighter. Well, in quotation, I know that world. I don't do comedy.
Right.
I've had 13 concussions. No, you're all.
He's just some dude who fucking had an in and took it because he didn't have another
Which
in.
I
But
get
here's
it,
the
but
thing.
you got to be good at that shit. And he
Can
got
you
handed
blame
a
him?
special in like 2 years. I can't blame him at all for the hustle. It's like, I get it, dude. You want to make some money, cool. And you were handed a Netflix special. Who's not going to take that?
Well, it wasn't a Netflix. It was a Showtime.
Okay, well,
And
Yeah,
that's
get your
'cause
facts straight, Cody.
Well, he signed a deal with Showtime to do all of their boxing stuff and whatever. And the same guy who was taking over that department used to be the comedy guy for Showtime. So he literally was like just trying to toothpaste over the fucking holes in the ship
yeah.
God,
and
damn.
just threw the special that everyone knew was doomed to fail. Which even if you hear
was
Brendan
so
talk
bad.
about it,
He's a goddamn 3-year comic. He had no
Like-
business doing a special.
even when Brendan mentioned it on a couple of other podcasts, he's like, "I'm doing a hour special."
yeah.
I got 8
Like, you
minutes of
couldn't
comedy.
create-
It's
He had 8 minutes of comedy that he had to stretch into an hour, and it's not his fault, really. How can you say no to that fucking deal? What are you supposed to do?
So bad.
Sucks.
Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen $190,000 in cash?
No, I would like to.
That's what
pretty
he got
hard.
paid for it.
It's pretty hard to fucking walk away from a house worth of money. I wouldn't say no to it.
No
and I
way.
have no comedy. I don't
Yeah.
even have 8 minutes.
I'll do an hour special tomorrow if you pay me half.
Yeah, dude, I don't give a
$190,000.
give me a 5-minute notice, and
I'll hate myself for the rest of my life, but I'll have $190,000 to hate myself with.
But the thing is, we're already gonna hate ourselves for the rest of our fucking life, anyways.
That's
It'd just
not-
be one more
hey,
thing
hey,
on the
stop.
shit heap.
Stop bringing my price down, Cody.
Oh shit. Okay, hey, let's burn through these questions really fast. I don't want to fail these people, but
I do.
Well, yeah,
I want to
same.
go.
I understand.
Yeah.
Let's
but
get some good ones.
Anthony Tank Mansfield. Here's our boy. He's our sponsor. We love him.
He's daddy.
It's a two-part question. First question: if you could release one predator animal into the zebra pen, which one would you drop in there? So what about that?
All right. So for me personally, it'd be a small predator because zebras are basically predators.
Really?
Zebras are dicks.
The fuck shit up, huh?
They will run out of their enclosure to stomp on a bird that lands in their yard and then walk right back inside.
Savage.
love
God,
it.
dude.
I
What would
love
you
it.
put in there? A
Murder
little fox?
horses? I'm in.
Yeah, it's
With stripes.
It's nightmares without the fire.
I love it.
And they live in a suit. They have to be like that. They're
Yeah,
So you're
they're-
saying a small predator so the zebra could stomp the shit out of it?
I'm gonna go like medium sized predator. Let me go with like an Alaskan gray wolf.
Oh, I like it.
pretty specific. How do you think it would fare against an entire pen of zebras?
No,
Well,
just
just one
one on
zebra.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Death match.
That
I think
would
it
be.
would depend on
you
how
know what?
fast
I
the
think it would
wolf
be-
got to its throat, or if the zebra was able to stomp it to death real fast.
Yeah, because they can.
Yeah, I
It's
can
all
picture
about
it.
that first blow, dude.
Right. So
If
that's
you-
what I'm saying. Is that to me that's a fight where it's.
Even.
Yeah.
Even
I'm all about a fair fight.
It
Like,
could be
Because
a
wolves-
solid kick and that wolf is out of commish, or that wolf is getting the mouth on its neck and not letting go.
Well, you're talking about what, a 200-pound wolf, or like what does a zebra
maybe
weigh?
maybe a 140-pound wolf.
Okay, 140-pound wolf.
Zebra
and what
like
does a zebra
500
weigh?
pounds or something? Right?
Yeah,
Maybe
we'll
1,000?
So for sure
No.
that
No?
1,000? You think
No.
a zebra
It's like
weighs
a- it's like
fucking-
a
I don't
hip
fucking know. It's
hippopotamus.
like a
Like a
wild
hippo,
animal.
Do you know what a pound is?
Yeah.
how much do you weigh? You ever seen a zebra? It's a big horse with stripes.
I'm just. Why is everybody giving me weird looks? Animals weigh a lot out there.
Because
They
you
have a
just
lot
said
of muscle.
1,000 pounds for a zebra.
This is a man that
Who the
before
fuck
you got
knows?
here was trying to show us ghost videos, and I was like, "Nah, it's dust." And he was like, "How's there dust in the basement? There's no wind." And I was like, "Did
Totally
you-"
not how that
I was like, "Bro, did you
conversation
Google it
happened.
at all?" He's like, "Nah." I was like, "Why?" And I'm thinking so that he can share this information
Oh
with
my
people
God.
and tell a ghosty story. And I was like, "Okay, I'll look this shit up." And it's exactly what he showed me. It's called backscatter. That's why everybody's giving you weird
Throwing
looks.
me under the bus and totally
You're a
throwing
fucking
everything
idiot,
out of
Patrick.
context.
That's why.
You're scared of spiders. Fuck you.
We'll have Rand back on. You guys can talk about ghosts.
Yeah, whatever. It's not that big of a thing. Yeah, whatever.
I do want to get Ram
Is
back
that enough like past references that I get like a pass on this?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit, dude.
Anyways,
All right.
back to Mansfield's question.
I just wanted to make sure when I said I listened to this, you didn't think I was just saying it because
Thank
I'm
you.
on.
I appreciate it, dude. I
Yeah,
seriously do.
thanks.
All right.
I also just inhaled rum and it burns a lot.
I bet it does. Try to answer this question while you're choking to death on your rum. Gun to your head. This is the second part of Tank's question. Gun to your head. You have to bone an animal. Which one are you making sweet forbidden love to?
Ostrich?
I'm not putting,
A llama,
why a llama?
the faces.
Okay.
The faces?
They make such great faces.
What's that
plus
nice
a
fur
fuckable
you can
face?
grab?
I wouldn't say fuckable, but just, I mean,
And
gun to my head first, I've already came before we get to the animal. Like,
Because of the face.
you know how to sweet talk me with a gun to my head.
Yeah.
But once we get to the animal, yeah, I'm going llama just because if it makes one of those silly faces, I'll feel not like the worst person ever.
Maybe you could spit in your mouth. And,
I was just gonna say, like, you know, they're gonna spit on it at least.
Because I'm spitting right back.
yeah,
'Cause
spit
I'm
in
going to
its
be
mouth.
dominant.
Stiff as spit.
But let's get weird.
All right, well, fair question. Yeah.
I think that was a
That's a
reasonable
good
for
answer.
that.
Yeah, I like
The
that.
face.
Solid. What animals fuck the weirdest? Eric Grounds?
Tortoises.
Okay, cool.
Oh, for
Moving on.
sure. They're super weird.
weird, like-
tortilla dick.
It looks like a car wreck and a meat arm.
Okay.
Ugh.
Fuck.
I've seen a video on Reddit where they like removed both of them, and there's like this fucking weird fucking
And then it just
mushroom looking
Yeah,
slime.
it looks like microcilia growing on
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
stop motion because they just go.
Yeah. Oh
it's
my
fucking
God.
horrifying.
I think we've watched videos of turtles fucking, so okay.
You say horrifying, I say hot, but whatever.
Yeah, it was the face.
Max Malaran, he's a spider dude that came on, scared the shit out of me with Spidey videos. Best and worst animals to work with at the zoo.
To me, worst is a lot of the primates. I'm too big. They don't like me.
Really?
Like if I walk through where the gorillas are, the males immediately get aggressive because I stand too
I
tall.
was just gonna say.
They throw
sorry.
So it's a
Shit, right?
dick measuring contest as soon as you get in there? Like, because you're
Well,
the...
like they just don't like things that are bigger than them.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're taller than a fucking gorilla, dude?
Have you seen a gorilla?
You're
They're
talking
wide,
shit
but they're
to
not
me
tall.
for the zebras, and then this motherfucker
I didn't say
over
this
here.
is better. We're going the same route.
I'm just trying to get it off of me.
I understand.
There's
but
a lot of pressure.
You've seen a gorilla.
Well, yeah, but you said taller than them, and I was like, oh, wait, you're taller than them?
How tall do you think a gorilla is?
Yeah, how tall, Cody?
I'm assuming they're like 7 feet tall.
Oh,
Right?
you're
They're
wrong as
fucking
fuck
huge.
already.
You
Yeah.
understand that they never stand straight up and down.
He's
first
an
of all.
idiot.
If they were
Lloyd.
to, though, wouldn't they be like
No.
7? No? Okay, I'm stupid.
You
I
think
like-
they have
he-
like
he thought-
ladder
he thought-
legs?
in my
tucked
defense,
up
Patrick, I
inside
don't
of
work
their
at the
body?
zoo around these creatures.
He also
I,
said when we had one of the people
Oh,
that
here
were
we
on
go.
the fucking Tiger King kind of shit, he thought that shells came off of turtles.
I
They
didn't
just
thi-
eat that like a sleeve.
I was curious if
I
it-
know.
I was curious. It's what he legitimately thought.
He also said bonobos were a weird type of ape that no one knows anything about, and they're
Like the most popular one, aren't they?
they're almost as common as chimps, and most people know what
fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Over here.
they are. So yeah, again,
I'm a dummy.
I've listened.
I'm
I
not
get,
that smart.
I'm glad you listened.
I'm not that smart.
You're a
And
true
also,
bastard.
Patrick, I don't work at the fucking zoo, all right? I mean, I don't see little specks of dust flying around in a
I
video and immediately
absolutely
assume
love
it's
watching-
wizards and warlocks fighting it out in my basement. And I show it
love
to my
So
watching-
wife.
he's not wrong because fucking not ghosts.
I'm not saying they're ghosts.
I love
100% he said it was
love
ghost.
I
whenever
am.
Patrick gets uncomfortable because it's defense to the max.
Fuck you, you're scared of spiders and your dad
No,
killed himself,
Here's the thing.
pussy. Yeah, my
think-
dad's still alive.
I think he has the same problem that pretty girls do.
Me?
Yeah, you were too
Me?
pretty.
Oh, yeah, that's
I'm
100%.
all pretty.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my
never had to
God.
be smart.
Pick it apart, Lloyd.
You were too pretty, and when people started criticizing things, you're like, "Oh, wait, what? This is I'm
That's
not
it.
supposed. I don't do this.
What?
I don't deal with this.
That's 100% it. Pat is the handsome one on the podcast.
Just because you're a pretty nerd doesn't mean you're not pretty. You're a pretty man.
I appreciate the
Yeah.
compliment, but
You're a hot dude, Pat.
fuck, guys?
So you never had to develop like certain things that I had to figure
defense
out.
mechanisms.
Well, yeah, no,
I'm gonna
seriously,
say-
I'm not a hot dude, so I
I'm gonna
had to
say if-
figure certain things out.
if
to-
any of us go to jail, which one has the biggest problem?
Probably Pat, 100%.
Me?
Or Luke.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Me.
If I'm in prison for 8 months, you're pretty enough. I'm gonna start.
If I go to jail, I would just like high five my coke dealer in there, like "fuck yeah, dude," and then
That's
like
so
we'll
funny.
move about our business.
No, you're a pretty man.
Wow, you're a pretty man, dude.
I'm a burly man. I'm the fucking brawny paper towel guy. You're the
If I had to pick between you and a llama, like I'm going to you, bud.
if I had to pick.
Well, girls want to fuck you too for different reasons. With him, it's like for sure his dick's got to look like a fire hydrant. Look how big this man is. If his dick is any less than that bottle of rum in front of him, he's got the worst dick of all time. And fucking look,
It's
Patrick's
closer
like,
to that.
yeah. Holy shit, you're saying with the bottle of rum
No,
with that
no,
on
I'm saying
top?
that
That's
by
a
itself.
weird head on top of that.
What's going on there?
I'm saying they don't call it 2.5 inches of dangling fury for no reason.
Dingling Fury, I love
Who calls it that?
Everyone who's ever
Everyone
seen
that's
Me
not
now.
us, bro.
Me now.
Yeah,
it. Oh,
you're
don't
out.
act like you don't call it that.
I call it that in my sleep.
Pat was the lead singer of a fucking metalcore band, which is
Oh, I know. We met on Craigslist
a genre
years
of
ago.
metal made for women.
We met on
Exclusively.
Craigslist years ago. We know.
That's how the band started. Craigslist. Yeah, shit's real.
I just burned
Fun
Pat
fact.
so
I'm
hard.
also
and-
I don't give a fuck,
That
Cody.
was like one of the greatest statements ever. Like
I wanted him to-
metalcore, a genre
I'm trying to
made
get him to
for
clap
girls.
back.
Me?
Yeah, I want the clap back. I like the.
Whatever.
Oh,
I feel like I'm
I
just
was
hurting
one of
my
those-
friend's feelings. I'm sorry, Patrick.
I was
I
one of those
literally
math
went rid of
core
mine.
nerds, so you can literally.
Wait, what?
I was one of those like math core nerds.
Really? Were you
Dillinger
just
Escape Plan.
one of those things?
that shit's
That
crazy.
was my shit.
That shit's
That shit's
crazy.
crazy.
It's fun to play too. It's like impossible, but it is.
Yeah, I can't at all. But like Dillinger Escape Plan was my vision disorder, Earth Crisis, all that shit was.
Ooh, good
Hell yeah.
shit. That's,
That's
some
all.
good shit,
you
actually.
Two, you two would vibe for sure.
I know. I'm making
And
up.
Luke.
I'm
Yeah.
making up teasing him.
Look, we're all friends here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
cool.
That was never not up for debate. You were freaking out.
We got
We're all friends here.
We got like
right?
15 minutes. Let's burn through these fucking things. Best and worst animals to work with.
Lame.
It is a little lame. Do you guys want to just go right to the
No,
crack
no,
smoking
back
thread?
up one
No.
because I want to.
Let's
shit
just
on somebody
cherry
real
pick
quick.
these fuckers.
I wanna
No,
know
Where's
Alex
this,
Busberry.
Aaron?
Yeah.
So did the zoo purposely make Fiona's mom give birth early, but not too early, so they could quote unquote save her and profit off of her, so everyone will stop hating them for Harambe?
I don't
that
even know what
true?
that means. Who's Fiona?
What-
I don't know shit
Fiona's
about this.
the hippo, the world famous hippo, and They're saying, what are they trying to say here? Like that they use
think that
hippos to cover up Harambe?
Yeah, they think that apparently this fucking just waste of jizz believes that the zoo somehow induced a hippo, which I don't know.
What kind of hippopotocin do you have to use to induce a fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
So you're in your fucking wildly moronic mind, you think that the zoo somehow induced a hippo to give birth early, but not too early,
Just in time for the
so they
Harambe.
could keep it alive, even though all of the procedures that are now written to keep a premature hippo, they're all written by the veterinarian at our zoo, Dr. Mark Campbell, who is without question one of the best veterinarians alive on the planet. He's been offered jobs at every major zoo. I mean, literally on the planet.
Big dick energy.
And they think that and this person thinks that it's a grand conspiracy to cover up something when it's a lot of
there are not
hardworking
space
people.
lizards. There is no fucking ice wall. The earth isn't flat. And
There's no grand cabal of fucking evil people running shit. It's just a bunch of dummies like us that happen to get into
it's
different
not
places of
coincidence
power.
that you look like Uncle Terry. Your mom was fucking him. You are just a real waste of jizz, and that's the dumbest question I've ever fucking heard. Die in fire. Thank you. Next question.
Anyways.
All right, great. Monkey ever tried to fuck his ear hole? Going right past that one.
Yeah, they
Harambe,
sure have.
no thanks. How have the animals been with nobody being at the zoo because of the pandemic? I assume
There's
fine.
always someone there, isn't there?
way better probably.
Yeah, they're fine. No, I mean,
don't
better
give
or
a
worse,
fuck.
whatever. For the most part, animals are very good at working in the environment they're in. That's why it's not... We like to think of animals in the way that we think of people. They
And
don't
they're
think
not.
the way we think. They don't react to things the way we react to things. If you believe that your pet cat loves you, you're dumb. It literally does not possess the piece of its brain required to love you.
It will eat your
That's-
face as soon as you're dead if you don't give it food.
If you sleep for more than 8 hours, it's debating whether or not to start eating your cheeks.
Yeah,
But Lloyd, my cat lays in my lap.
Yeah.
because it knows if it does that,
Because
it'll
it
get
wants to
more
kill
food.
me?
No, because you're warm and then you rub it.
It likes
That's
both those
love.
things, and it knows it'll get
Right?
food.
It has nerves, so when you rub... I bet you if you rub Cody's back for the next 15 minutes,
Yeah, I'll cuddle up
He'd
on
get
your...
hard.
he'll be pretty chill. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
No.
I won't scream at any fast food workers or people on the highway for
Yeah,
doing
he'll be-
pretty
he'll be-
What
much
are you going to do
nothing.
to stop him from yelling at service workers?
you'll remove his road...
I'm such a cocksucker to these people, but it's only if they're dicks or if I feel like I've been wronged, or
I'm
sometimes
just saying,
if I just have a
if
bad
he
day.
slowly caressed your back for 15 minutes every day,
Yeah,
He'd purr like a walrus.
you'd probably get rid of 3 days worth of road rage.
100% I would.
There you go.
I had some today. Some fucking dickhead. I'm in Allie's car. It was a fucking... She drives this little roller skate with a 50cc motor in it, essentially, is what it is. And all of our kids are crammed in there, and she's got the bumper stickers. I don't advertise any of my politics because people are fucking crazy and will start shit with you. But she's got a Black Lives Matter sticker, which, great, support that movement and whatnot. But when you put that on there, people... when you're in Indiana, drive like fucking dickheads because they're racist morons that suck dick and live in Indiana. So you're advertising your politics to a bunch of assholes that are all fucking Trump supporters with 2-inch dicks, and
Can I stop you for a
it's
second?
gonna start a bunch of shit. Go, yeah, go. Sorry.
Anytime you have to qualify that many parts before you make a statement, you don't believe what you're about to say.
Wait,
Oh, this is
That's a
Cody.
very good
This
point.
is Cody.
This is Cody.
I do this with everything.
Yeah.
Right. I understand that, but
Wait, don't believe what I forget what my point is exactly.
I know exactly
Alls
what
I
you mean.
know,
We don't need to delve into it, but I think all of our listeners know too.
Alls I know is that the fuck
that was too many qualifications for it to be a statement you believe in your heart.
that he.
Do you
that
care
he's
about?
probably angry
Do you
about
care
the-
about Black lives, Cody?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why
That's
better?
not the point. It's
Wait, what?
Go on.
It didn't have anything to do with her having a like. I just think that people drive more like assholes to those people because she's had it happen to her before and scream shit like fuck it because she had a I miss Obama sticker on her last car and then somebody chased her around our neighborhood and fucking screamed fuck Obama. He's and calling the N word.
right. And that probably makes your overreactions while in traffic feel more justified.
Well, this dude was all the way on
you
her
can
ass.
because you can think of a thing that happened while you were in a car. Not that they're related to your
Sure.
overreactions in traffic, but anytime you've qualified a statement 4 times before you get to the point, I no longer believe that you believe the thing you're about to say.
Well, I know that I'm an asshole and I'm a crazy fuck sometimes, and
Right.
So that's
just trying to
for
help
sure
you-
the reason.
I'm just trying to help you see how some of us are seeing that.
I hear you. But anyways,
I love this so much.
this is just my theory for why dudes like doing that.
This is literally just autism versus anger.
I love it. I love it more than anything.
Yeah, but the point is, I go and I'm going and I've got my kids in the car, so I'm trying not to act like an aggressive asshole.
Too late.
So I was like, fuck it, and just get over. And the dude follows me in the next lane. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is your problem? And he's an inch away from me the entire time, like fucking scream. I'm like trying to get over, and he keeps following me to the other lane, and I'm just like getting angry and angrier. But there's two of my children in the back seat, so I'm like, I can't fucking lose my marbles on this dude. So I pull all the way to the right, and then we're merging onto the highway. I let this dude go around me. He's like all that. I'm holding all this fucking anger in. I see him doing all this shit, and it was like, oh, maybe that's how I come across when I'm in a car.
Okay, but
screaming
did
at
you
somebody.
need to qualify that with the bumper sticker and the...
It's just how I tell stories, long-winded and extra
I
information we
understand
don't
that.
need.
What I'm saying, I'm trying to give you a viewpoint into how you're doing something. Did you need to add the in a 50cc engine? Those
Probably
little
not.
things where you talked it down, where you look uncomfortable saying them. I don't like watching you look uncomfortable as you're saying something.
Man.
Yeah.
Wait.
Intervention.
I'm curious what you mean by qualify. Like, I said 50cc because I would like speed up and get away from him because I have a faster car, but she's got
That's
a little shitty
unimportant
car,
to the
so I couldn't-
story.
Yeah, that's fair.
The bumper sticker's unimportant to the story. You put so many qualifications before you got to the thing that you had
I
a
see what you
conflict
mean.
about.
So I should have just got to the point instead of fucking worked around.
Not for
all this.
us. The story's fine just the way you told it.
Right.
Not for us. But watching you uncomfortably give details
This is so awesome.
was uncomfortable for me. I'm like, why?
You make our guests uncomfortable, Cody.
Stop
That's what
it.
I'm here to do.
Stop it.
That's what I'm here
It's
to do.
time to change.
Quit running your fucking cocksucker and get to the story.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
fair enough. I don't know.
I mean, if
Anyways.
I wanted to pick you, I'd point while you're leaning on that elbow versus that elbow, as different things have been talked about. If I want to talk about him, it's why I
Oh, you
said
would dismantle me.
hands
all this-
go between his laps.
But all this to get to the joke that Allie made.
he would be
'cause she's
hilarious to pick apart because it's
Oh, I'm sure.
so reactive.
Where he flies his whole head back. And
No,
screaming
where he
at-
does like things like tucking both of his hands between his legs and then tightening his legs against the outsides of his hands. Where he does things like where he's fidgeting with something and then he closes both of his hands around it and starts tilting his head in.
dude.
Like when he's
I
paying
didn't do
attention
that.
to
I
something?
didn't know that I was doing that
You
last
absolutely-
one.
Now that's all I can see.
But everything
Lloyd
else
really pays
I've-
attention to
I have
people.
been
I don't
You
have a
weren't
choice.
kidding.
It's
Always going.
yeah.
Well, all this though, all my qualifiers and uncomfortability to get to, Allie saw me getting furious, and she was like, you think that he's just driving like that because he wants to get home and kiss his dad right on the lips as soon as he gets there? And I was like, now it's better, everything's fine.
See,
So
I would
just
have went
need
the
somebody
other
there.
way. I'd have been like, do you think he's just driving home because he knows he has that new child porn he just downloaded? You'd have stopped being mad immediately.
Yeah, it diffused it immediately. And I was like, maybe I just need somebody there every time that I'm getting angry to tell me a joke. And then
I
I'll
think
fucking
Allie's
calm
good
down.
for you.
Yeah.
So back when I said stand-up was like, oh, I like that kid. It was because he made fun of him to him and to Allie, and he laughed it off. That's what he liked. So he didn't know about like the shit he read in the tin can rehab at that point.
Yeah.
Because me and you had conversations before that.
Right.
But what he said he liked was he made fun of you to her, and you laughed, and then looked at her like, hey, you're fine to laugh. That's what he liked.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I'm likable and I'm not just a drunken piece of shit. I don't know, I guess.
I mean, to Stanhope.
Yeah. All right. So he deals with probably a lot of assholes. So it's like, he's not as much of an asshole as he could be an asshole. So, yeah, he's all right. That kid's okay.
Yeah, he likes Chad Shank, so I mean you're in great company.
Yeah, dude. All right. Did we get through all these? Hold up.
God, I fucking hope so. Let's be
I
done
don't know
with
how
this
much do you
already.
want me to
Last
break
thing.
your
There's-
listeners.
We've spent the half of this episode going through these questions.
That's fair. Didn't you guys want to berate me for something for this
Well,
thing?
it's
Yeah.
like, it's not much time. We could probably end on that. Yeah.
It's already
All right.
9:30? All right.
All right, so like I want to do this setup right now.
Sure.
Okay, so listeners, if
Too
you've
many
been
qualifiers.
if you've been listening so far to the show, you are probably a Facebook, the Bastard Servant podcast group. If you are, then I am sure that you have seen the post that Cody made a couple of days ago where he kindly swore off anyone who had not listened to the show before from our group page. And then he, personally went toe-to-toe with anyone who commented against his post and booted them all. Now, to me...
I was looking for a mass exodus.
To me, and Patrick said before the show that it was a good move for the podcast group, and I do see the positive benefits from it. But to me, in my head, how the whole situation was like, okay, so you buy a ticket to a show, right? And you go there, and you're going there for the feature act, the middle act, right? You had no idea there was a headliner. And you're like, all right, I'm here for this. What? There's something even better than this that's coming up next? And then the band comes out on stage and they go, if you've never heard my music before, get out! You know, like that's how the post was to me. Like these people were here for like all these other memes and a good time, and some of these people were here for a good time, Dino's podcast, and then listened to the podcast.
I'm just
and
confused.
then he came out on stage and screamed at everyone to get the fuck out.
No, I'm amused that you believe there's a headliner in the situation of the post he made.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's just us.
This is a feature act.
Yeah, at best, ever.
Top to bottom.
I'm just saying it's a good equivalence.
No. If you were the feature act and there was no headliner and you came out like, hey, Def Leppard's not playing. Get the fuck out if you're a 42-year-old white chick with saggy... get the fuck off.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Okay.
Gatekeeping.
There was no headliner.
He's a gatekeeper.
He's
No
gatekeeping.
gatekeeping. No, here's what it is. I get on there. No.
He's gatekeeping.
So here, I actually...
What's new?
That was such a dick response for no reason.
like I had friends who were like, I've listened to a few episodes and I support you, dude, but I joined the group for like just to support you and have the numbers and to check out the memes. And then like this guy was one of the people that Cody was like, fuck you, fuckhead, ban. Like,
I don't care.
There's
Fuck
no
'em.
reason for you to
This
be
is
a part
solely
of this.
me blindly defending Cody because I feel like I could do the same thing. So I just tried to find a way to... I tried to find a way to be on your side, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, Lloyd. Now, let me explain what this really is. I already explained it within the post. This dude made a solid fucking... If you don't know what Wild Mike's is, then get out. And I thought that was kind of funny, and I do like
That
Wild
was pretty
Mike's.
good.
So I was like, all right, cool. And then we go back and forth about Wild Mike's for a minute, and he literally... is like he's gonna make a fan page for Wild Mike's. I was like, yeah, fuck the bastard sermon, shit's lame. Let's just make this a Wild Mike's fan group, and the kid really makes it. But then I go to the page, and it's not a group page where you can share. It's just like a business page, and I'm like, this is gonna get confusing. So what I explained it here. I said change it to a public group so people can post dank wing pics. Then eventually people will post cheeseburger memes about McDonald's, and everyone will eventually post pictures of salads that they made, and then eventually someone will post pro-Trump memes. Antifa will stage a protest on your Wild Mike's appreciation page, and then you'll understand my frustration with this group a little bit better. And then he was like, oh, now I get it. I'm like, yeah, that's what it's about. Like, you start the fucking thing for this, and then...
And most of the people
it's
who
like,
read
cool.
that post went, oh, Cody took Adderall that day.
Yeah, well, I probably got drunk and took armodafinil, which is kind of like knockoff Adderall. It's
I've
like
got some too, it's
narcolepsy. Yeah,
I
took
think
that.
I thought the post, as bitchy as it was, and whatever, and that you were just going off on everybody, I still think it was a smart move to say anything, because you're fucking right. There's a shit ton of people in that group that never listened to the fucking podcast.
Yeah.
But I hated when I read things on there where people were like, no one ever tells us it's a podcast. It's
That
in the
dumb
fucking
whore,
name.
that stupid whore that fucking called us dry pussies, and
Yeah,
we were all
yeah.
nice to
I'm
her, trying to
just
give her
saying.
links. Fuck her. I don't want her. I don't care if anybody ever listens to this podcast. I don't give a fuck at all. I do it for fun. But I don't want to make a page for my shit and then have people there doing.
It's a podcast page.
Look at this fucking meme about Trump. And I'm like, God, fucking damn
I
it.
hate
don't
that
want to see
shit.
this fucking
Yeah,
horse
And by the
shit.
way, listeners, if you're in the group and we catch a fucking political post, we're just gonna ban you.
And by the
delete
way,
you.
listeners, if
No
you
one
thought
cares.
you were doing everything we told you to do when we first made the page at the beginning of the podcast and you're getting yelled at for it now, I'm sorry.
It's because I'm a
Yeah, you have-
psychopath.
No.
You know
Not
what
I'm
it feels
sorry.
like to do anything
you had it
creative with
coming
me.
from Cody.
Not I'm sorry. Fuck you for not following
Yeah.
the development of the... So, literally the first day he told me that he had a podcast, I downloaded and I listened to one. And
We love you.
I'm not going to lie, I skip some here or there, especially depending on who's on. And
Makes sense.
It's not always
There-
a good show. It sucks sometimes.
Makes
Whatever. It is what it is.
There's
We do
been
it
some
for
people
fun.
who it's like, oh, all right, no.
Yeah.
Wanna
But
name
I
any
listen.
names?
I enjoy. Like the other week when I said me and him wrote each other the drunken
I love
3-paragraph love letter. I was like, hey, you're a funny motherfucker, and he's like, well,
It was really sweet. It was nice. Thank you.
I was like, no, there's all these different. I appreciate what you guys do. I dig the podcast.
Thank you.
I don't post in groups like this because I just end up being a disruption instead of an addition.
Me. That's me, but I'm the moderator of the page.
Right,
And I
so-
shouldn't be.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a bad idea.
Earlier today, when I said I'm a slightly less put together, that's why I defended everything he was doing. I'm like on his side because I would do all of it, but there would be a lot more cunts.
Yeah.
Go fuck your mom. Die in a fire.
So there's a bunch. He just has.
I gotta delete it because they'll.
Do you believe I didn't read these?
Oh no.
I was saying there would be more. Okay. I wasn't saying there would be some. I was saying there would be more. So that's why I felt the need to defend him.
Thank you.
I defend him too. Just
They like to
don't be
break
so
my balls, which
bitchy
I
about it.
appreciate. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
real
no.
bitchy. No, I agree. Looking back on it, I was like, but whatever, it's there.
But
Who cares?
if anything, I feel like it helped the group because now we can. It feels like people now know what it's here for.
Yeah, now I'm trying to be
like-
more active so that I'm not just
Oh,
bitching, not
Yeah, and
making
it's working
a
out.
difference. It's like, okay, if you're going to bitch, at least be more active in your own shit and like make this more fun and fucking get some questions even if your questions suck because you guys, whatever. At least you did it. Thank you for
Yeah,
fucking
thank you.
putting
Again, part of
questions
it.
in there. You know
So-
what I mean? And
Even on my other podcast, Fuck You, We Like the Bengals, they've basically taken all privileges of interacting with our fans away from me.
because you'll fuck it up real
Like
fast.
I still have all the passwords to stuff, but like people have kind of hinted like,
Come on, dude.
stop telling everyone that you're gonna rape their dead mom. Like,
All right, Cody. This is strike one then.
There's been so many strikes.
like we've had to peel it back from my reactions, so I get where he's at.
yeah.
But I've actually listened to enough of these where I almost feel bad that I feel like I took over too much of the episode where I didn't let.
Fuck no.
No,
So if
dude, more. I wish I could talk
I
to
would
you
like
more.
to be on again where it's all more comfortable, and then you guys can chime in more.
Dude, I said it at the beginning of the podcast, and I still mean it. You are for sure one of my most favorite guests.
I'll have you back anytime that you want to come back.
Episode
you want me, I'm
134.
10 minutes away.
Episode 134, one of my favorite guests.
I want to just like sit
Well, I
down and talk
appreciate
with you
that.
more. I want to sit down.
Yeah,
and
you're
turn
always
mics
really,
on,
welcome back.
really.
man.
get hammered
For sure.
with you and just talk bullshit. Until,
tell you what,
You
eventually I
seem
do
like
say
someone
something.
who could be like a Dusty Road OG type of person.
I wish I didn't like that. I wish I didn't like it.
I'm gonna guide you through the life that is this mess. Like,
Yeah, dude. I fucking
No.
love you. Everybody should check
I'll
your
tell you
podcast
what,
out.
if you guys ever have someone bail or whatever, I'm literally 11 minutes away.
oh,
Hell
for
yeah.
sure, we're gonna keep that in mind.
For sure.
Our
Sounds
calendar's
great.
booked up through
Without
November, but if
fucking
we have a
question.
cancellation or something, dude, I'm
Yeah.
hitting you up right
Anytime you don't have somebody or whatever, please, by all means. I love the podcast. I'm a fan. I'm happy to be on.
Fucking noted.
Love to
Well,
have you
at
on.
that, let's fucking wrap this
Let's wrap
episode
it up.
up.
Everyone go check out Lloyd's podcast, Fuck You, We Like the Bengals. Where can they get it? All the podcast
everywhere.
shit? Hell yeah.
Everywhere.
iTunes, Spotify, go fucking download it. That's awesome. Quick ad reads from our sponsors. Let's blow through these and get the fuck out of here. This episode is all episodes is sponsored by the amazing, the incredible, the talented, the long deck wizard, Anthony Tank Mansfield. Thanks for the questions, Mansfield. We appreciate it. He runs the Kneel to No One brand. That's KNEELTONOONE.com or at Kneel to No One spelled that way. And you'll check out his amazing line of glassware, t-shirts, which don't fall apart. I've had mine for years. I wear them all the time. The fucking logos aren't even falling off. I'm wearing
Quality.
one right now. It's
They made a
fantastic.
camel scrotum, yo.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking awesome. All the shit that he does is great. $30 for custom art from him. Anything that you want. It'll make your dick bigger. He's got camel scrotums that he'll paint on for you. And Patrick O'Luke.
We are also sponsored by Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop. Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop has all the top of the line
up,
heady
Jay Armstrong?
glassware. All of the top of the line heady glassware, all the equipment you need for your stinky cheeses or other plants. They've got everything you need. If you're into kratom, they've got that.
Neck knives.
Neck knives, they've got it all. But if you want to go ahead and get yourself some nice pieces to hit your tobacco out of, head over to Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop at either 11424 Montgomery Road, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45249, or 937 Monmouth Street, Newport, Kentucky, 41071. Drop by, let them know you're a bastard, and they'll give you a sweet discount of 10%.
Sweet deal. And their shit's reasonably priced. Go check that out. Last but not least, Cody Best at Clifton Barbers. Go there and get a sick haircut at 337 Ludlow Avenue.
Still waiting for that straight razor nut shave.
I want to make
It's
this
gonna
happen
happen. It's
sooner
coming.
rather than later.
It's
I really
coming.
want to make that
Just
a
in
thing.
case we weren't sure, I've listened.
Thank you, dude.
It'll happen.
Have you-
I'm actually
really
impressed.
hitting
You've
all
listened
of
more
those
than any
points.
guest that we've had on, I think.
Until
not Mansfield.
Maybe not Mansfield.
Yeah,
Not
fuck
Daddy
that guy.
Mansfield. You guys should fight. We should get you two in a room.
He's
Hey,
doing
he jujitsu.
jujitsu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys can fight.
All right, well, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
why
set it
not?
up.
So you go to Instagram or Facebook at Clifton
up
Barbers.
to me.
You can see all the Instagram accounts for all the artists and the hairstylists there. No walk-ins at the moment due to COVID. Same day appointments, so either show up and get scheduled or call and get a spot. They also have online booking, cash only, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday through Friday. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday. And then shameless self-promotion. Go check out my art page at Dark Mountain Cult if you want to just get some art. I'll draw whatever you want, and I'll give you a deal.
And it's great art. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It is
Don't
actually
be scared.
begrudgingly, it's pretty fucking good.
Hey, well,
I've got a lot
begrudgingly.
of artists, it's got a lot of art. I've got a lot of artist friends. So when I first heard it, I was like, another one of these guys. No, I actually was impressed.
Well,
I
thank
really
you, sir.
genuinely was.
I know exactly what you mean. There's people out here making like art pages for themselves, and they're not even artists. They're just like, here's a doodle for today. Need some inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I first heard that on here, I was like, oh, this pretty motherfucker's an artist.
Ooh,
Just like every pretty girl that's like, I'm a yoga instructor. No, bitch, you watched a video. So I was actually, when I say begrudgingly, I mean that in the best way possible. I was genuinely impressed.
He wanted
by
to
your
hate
art.
thank
it,
you.
and then
I thought it
loved
was going to be.
He wanted to hate it.
I thought it was going to
but
be
he
pure
liked it.
dog shit. It turned out to be like cute goat shit, like little pebbles. It was cute. It was nice.
Thanks. Okay. Go check it out on Instagram, Dark Mountain Cult.
I actually like it. Don't let how I said that.
I'm just giving you shit. But cool. Thanks for coming on, man. You were fucking awesome. You're
This
very,
was
very easy to
super
chat
fun,
with.
man.
So anytime we'll make it happen, bro.
Super fun. I'm down anytime you guys want.
Hell yeah, brother.
Who do we got next week?
We got. Who do we have?
Pull
next
up the
week?
calendar.
Gotta pull up the calendar. Whoops. Will
It's
Finer.
just us and Will
Will
Finer.
Finer's coming back. Cool.
Right, Will Finer.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should bring Cody too. The last one. They were our last fucking guys before COVID happened. We had to shut this bitch down for like 2 weeks. Or whatever.
Goddamn.
Cody's a
That's
good
a
artist.
realization.
Check
right
out
there.
Cody Knar and Will Finer. Will Finer's a good promoter, Transplant Productions.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
All right.
Deuces.
See you next week.
Love
Thank
you
you guys
all.
for having me.
Of course.
Thank you.